me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And cricket, getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Mount Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
And we are back with you after our hiatus from the Monday through Friday dome of radio. You only heard us on Saturday last week for Arizona basketball, and what a year that was. The Wildcats with an impressive 98-73 win over the Wisconsin Badgers, the number 23 ranked Wisconsin Badgers. In fact, why don't we start it off with hearing the great highlights from that win?
Second one missed, but the rebound tapped out to Boswell. Over to Larson. Pella for 3 is good. There's our first Lexus of Tucson Charity 3 coming off a missed free throw. Around a high screen from Krivas, threw it back inside to Mo, around the defense and lays it in.
Arizona has an advantage with Mo Krivas.
Kick it high now for Lewis. KJ works his way inside to Keyshot. Tried to force the pass inside to Krivas, knocked away. Save. Boswell for 3. It's good. Double teamed right block. Ballo trying to squeeze his way through. Kick it out. Bradley wide open for 3. Got it.
Drawing defenders. Ballo had every Badger hanging all over him. Bradley wide open tray.
Get it to Wall right of the lane, looking to post up on Johnson. Backing him down, a lot of contact. Wall turns, traveled, turnover, Wisconsin.
Arizona choosing to play one-on-one defense in the post. Wisconsin's waiting for a double team. It doesn't come.
Shot clock down to 6. Boswell stopped, shoot a 3. Straight away, it's good. Kylan Boswell drains it. And that is the half. Horn goes, Cats up by 17. Kylan through traffic ahead to Larson. Bounce pass left corner, Love. Wide open for 3. Got it! Lexus of Tucson Charity 3 for Caleb Love. 3 missed, no good. Is Ilver, and the Cats get the rebound ahead to Larson. Pellet to the bucket, lays it in, foul by Winter.
That's when you take advantage of a clean defensive rebound. Boswell had a bullet pass to Pella Larson, streaking down the left side of the floor.
Pella one bounce to Boswell. Ballo with a high screen, Boswell around it. Stops free throw line. Feed it inside for KJ Lewis, who slams it home.
Patience for Boswell off the on-ball screen. Back cut from Lewis. Slam dunk.
Hand it off to Lewis. KJ around a high screen from Krivas. Throw it back. Morauskas will shoot the 3, and it's good.
You said you wanted 93.
You got it. Cats match their season average to Gilmore. He'll shoot a 3 out there, and it's good with .2. And that's it. The Wildcats in a top 25 matchup dominate the Badgers today here in Tucson, Arizona, 98, Wisconsin 73.
What a win indeed. The Arizona Wildcats remain the number 1 team in the nation and solidifying. Do you think all those people, what was it? I think they had 55 first place votes last week. I think at least almost all of those people got on board after watching that complete dismantling of the number 23 Badgers. The Wildcats this week with 62 of the 63 first place votes. Houston, the only other team to get a first place vote. The Cougars are 10-0 on the season. Arizona number 1 in the AP poll. Kansas 2, Purdue 3, Houston 4, and UConn 5. So the meeting on Saturday between the Wildcats and the Purdue Boilermakers will be a 1-versus-3 showdown in Indianapolis in a game that is going to be televised on Peacock. We will get into that this week. I'm not even sure. I think I had Peacock at one point, I think, but I never paid for it, so I don't know if I still have it, or maybe at the time I remember watching something on Peacock. It was back during the Olympics, because NBC does the Olympics and they kind of filter out everything. And I swore I watched a bunch of stuff on Peacock, but maybe now you have to pay for it, and I don't know if I have it or not. So I guess I'll have to find out.
I'm almost positive we have it because
Paige is a bit obsessed with Parks and Rec, the TV show, and I'm pretty sure that they only carry that on Peacock these days. Something like that.
That's a good show.
Great
I
show.
never really watched it, but I always heard great things about it, and I think the woman that was on Gilmore Girls was on it, right? I forget her name, but I used to watch Gilmore Girls back in the day, and I remember she was on that Parks and Rec show.
There's a lot of consolidation because, 10 years ago it was all Netflix, and then Disney Plus came about, and a bunch of other streaming services have launched since then. And so now a lot of these original shows are making their way back to wherever it was that they originated from. They might have had the rights. They might have sold the rights to stream them to other services. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure we got Peacock originally because some of the shows you can only watch there now. Yeah. So, luckily for us, DK, we'll be able to watch that game.
We're already starting to get emails about it. Ida Nielsen checks in and says, good morning. Will you be broadcasting the University of Arizona basketball game with Purdue? Now, Ida, yes, we will be broadcasting that game on radio. Always. But we will not be streaming it. And I think there's some confusion out there. We do not have the contractual obligations to stream those games, okay? So you've got to download the Varsity app, okay? Or go to the Varsity app's website. If you're doing it on your home computer or your laptop, go to the Varsity Network, and you can listen to the game there. Or you can listen to the game on the radio here, but you will not be able to get the game on any of the places where we stream our signal because I have to do this thing called a geofence, which means I have to put a fence up. It's like one of those, when you have your dog, the people have those dogs with they put the soundless fence where if he goes a certain distance,
shock collar type thing,
exactly. One of those shock collar kind of things. I have to put up a fence 100 miles around the city of Tucson. All right? So if you go up to Phoenix, you can pop on our stream us through Alexa. Just tell Alexa to put us on Wildcats Radio 1290. Take your Alexa to Phoenix. You can stream us there because that's outside of, I believe it's outside of 100 miles. How far is it to Phoenix?
Well, it depends on where you're coming from or going to. Phoenix is a big place.
You might have to go to the west side of Phoenix.
Right.
Chandler, you might still be inside the geo fence. But if you go to Goodyear, where my Guardians play, you might be able to listen to the game on stream through us there. But download the Varsity app. It's our signal, but it goes through the University of Arizona's domain there. And so that's how you want to stream to listen to the game audio-wise. In terms of the Peacock, we'll see if we can get somebody on later this week that can help us all out with that. It's kind of what we're dealing with the Suns. We can't really watch the game, can't really watch the Suns right now if you live on the north side of the city. If you live here, where we are, in the CNWT, or out east, if you have Cox, you can watch the Suns. It's no problem. I still don't have them on Xfinity. Thank goodness tomorrow night's game is on TNT. We may get our first sighting of the Big Three tomorrow. We may get it. Bradley Beal is apparently a go for tomorrow's game against the Golden State Warriors, but Kevin Durant is questionable, so we may not get it tomorrow.
Speaking of the game tomorrow, it's great that the schedule worked out this way because obviously Golden State everybody had Saturday off other than the Pacers and the Lakers playing in the championship game of the in-season tournament in Vegas. All the other NBA teams were off. So I was not aware that it was going to happen, DK, but standing there on the concourse at McHale, being a native and having spent the 80s and 90s myself in that building, when Bruce Frazier and Steve Kerr, Coach Kerr, walked out of the tunnel, the ovation that they got when they were up on the board. And it's just so great that the schedule worked out that he and the staff could come down to Tucson because they have that game tomorrow in Phoenix versus the Suns.
How about Terry Francona and Steve Kerr exchanging phone numbers there in the tunnel?
Love it.
I mean, that was absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome game Saturday at McHale Center to have all those icons there, like you mentioned, Bruce Frazier, Steve Kerr, who have built that Warriors dynasty, Terry Francona back sitting courtside in his seats. Now he's retired from Major League Baseball. They brought the football team out, going to the Alamo Bowl. A lot of things have happened since the last time we talked to you in this format. We know that the Wildcats are going to be playing where they're going to be playing. That's coming up on December 28th. Just a lot of fun stuff. We'll get into some of that today. Also, we're going to talk shortly here in this hour to Jim Monaco. He is the athletics director up at Pima College. Awesome night last night up on West Anklam Road. The second induction to the Pima College Athletics Hall of Fame. They had an induction 10 years ago. Back in 2013. It had been a while since they inducted anybody into their Hall of Fame.
Do we know anybody who was involved in that process?
We know a few people. I mean, we know some people. Jeff Skurin got inducted, longtime high school football coach here locally. Jason Hakami.
Awesome.
He played for the Indians back in the day. Played here at Pima College. Great left-handed baseball player. And a guy named David Kelly got inducted. Yeah.
Congratulations, Mr. David Kelly, for
thank you.
being inducted. I think we should just take calls today congratulating you on being inducted. That would be great.
Well, if you want to call the show for any number of reasons, you can do so at 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We've got our stream back up. J-Dub is not the invisible man today. Some days he is, some days he isn't. This is a day he is not the invisible man, so you can see him. We are streaming on Facebook Live, Twitch, and YouTube at Wildcats Radio. Actually, I'm sorry. We are not currently streaming on Twitch. Something happened with the Twitch login, so I've got to fix that. So maybe by the end of the show, we might be up on Twitch.
Sometimes
but right now,
technology is your friend, and sometimes technology is not your friend.
But hey, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitter. That's 3 out of 4. Today, in which our video stream is actively rolling. So you can watch us on any of those platforms. Twitter at Wildcats1290. You can also listen to our stream. Download the app. Remember last week, a couple weeks ago, I was telling you the app was crap. Well, the app is no longer crap. It's starting to slap. Kind of got it the way I want it based on what they're allowing me to do. It's not the greatest format for an app, but we've made lemonade out of lemons, you might say. And so there's some good stuff over there. I've got sections for everything. U of A, Pima College, Cardinals, Coyotes, Suns, all the game stories, all the stories, lots of video, lots of highlights, everything you want to see with your local teams, preps. Again, Roadrunners. We got all kinds of stuff over there at the Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290 app. So download the app today so you are never missing out on anything. You might even get a notification. I'm sending out notifications on occasion as well. So
we're gonna get in trouble because people are gonna start complaining about getting slapped every time they open it.
Exactly. We might have to work that in somehow.
I think we should.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Cricket is on. Is she on vacation? Is that what's going on here? Is she on vacation? So we have got Hollywood.
Look out.
First time. So, Hollywood, I've never met you until about 5 minutes ago.
I've watched you on TV for years, my friend. You are so professional, so good. Love you.
All right. Well, thank you, Hollywood. I met him the first time, and he's like, oh, Cleveland.
By the way,
it's Victory Monday. You know, I got to put my Browns shirt on because it's Victory Monday. Joe Flacco did it again. Beat Joey Lawrence, or not Joey Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence.
Same guy, right?
You watched Joey Lawrence back in, what was that show he was on?
I did not watch, no, but I'm aware
Mayim Bialik and Six.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Whoa.
Hey. Whoa, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa. All right. So, Hollywood, tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, let's see. Wow. Born in California, lived all over the country. Dad was military. So, traveled a lot. And I'm amazed sitting across from you right now. I've watched you for years. I love you.
Oh my gosh,
you're fantastic!
Don't make people are just making me feel real good this week. You know?
Well, come on,
goodness gracious.
Hollywood, did you know that this man just got elected to the Pima Sports Hall of Fame yesterday?
Pima College, not Pima County.
College,
there's two different things.
Sports
Pima
Hall of Fame.
College,
Well
Sports Hall of Fame.
deserved.
Exactly.
Congrats.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that with Jim Monaco. Okay, so Hollywood, what else are you a DJ?
Well, got into the business in 1991.
Okay.
Worked for another station.
All right.
It's now long gone.
All right.
And let's see, did that for a long time now. I'm a stay-at-home dad.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. How many kids?
One.
One? Boy, girl?
Little boy.
Little boy? What's his name?
Rory.
Rory. How
Great
old?
name.
You just turned 3 in September.
Oh, all right. So what does Rory like to do? Is he into anything yet, or?
He likes to cause his parents so much trouble. Oh, man. Tylenol and coffee. That's how I'm doing it.
Tylenol and coffee.
That's
All
it.
right. Just don't mix anything with the coffee because the Tylenol could go very wrong if you
Sideways.
do.
Real
All
quick.
right, Hollywood, get us home, get us the weather, get us all that good stuff.
All right, from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Heads up for an injury crash on Greasewood and Ironwood Hill Drive. That's Ironwood Hill Drive and Greasewood for a crash there. Traffic hazard to be aware of on La Cañada Drive and West Overton Road. And heads up for a traffic accidents now clearing over on Kolb and Escalante. And your Wildcats Radio 1290 weather. Partly cloudy for today. Highs near 77. Overnight tonight, bundle up, going down to 49. Right now it is 76. And I'm Hollywood, in for Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Ritz, a taste of welcome.
Whether it's an ugly sweater party, office gift exchange, or holiday dinner at Nana's, Ritz Crackers is always there, bringing friends and family together to celebrate. So grab a box or two of Ritz Crackers for your next holiday gathering and make this season one to remember with Ritz, a taste of welcome.
Get the backyard you've always wanted with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you're ready to dive in, then visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Schedule now and get 3 months of full service free. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. First Choice Pools, the first and only choice.
Are you ready to adopt? Come to the Humane Society of Southern Arizona. When you adopt from us, you will save more than one life. You'll also make room for the next pet in need. The Humane Society of Southern Arizona has been compassionately serving pets and the people who love them since 1944. Our knowledgeable adoption matchmakers will help you find the right pet for your home and support you after you adopt. We are open 7 days a week at our main campus at 635 West Roger Road. Learn more and see adoptable pets at hssaz.org.
Hey, Scott Lehman here from Premier Auto Center. Check out this month's Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar powered by Premier Auto Center.
Visit the Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar at wildcatsradio1290.com to find out what community events are coming up in the Tucson area. You can also find Wildcats Radio 1290 events, upcoming sporting events, and more. Get the details and get involved with our community at wildcatsradio1290.com.
I'm Scott Lehman, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Rusty's Family Restaurant and Sports Grill offers a fun vibe with a great happy hour atmosphere. Located at Grant and Silver Bell, Rusty's has more than 45 televisions broadcasting every sport known to man. Rusty's is a great place to watch your football and basketball games. They even have booths with personal TVs. Enjoy a large selection of bottled beer, draft beer, wine, and cocktails. Things can get a little hectic during the holiday season. You deserve to take a break from all that holiday cooking and bring the family to Rusty's. Try any of their delicious sandwiches, salads, pub baskets, wings, and some of the best burgers in town, all made with 100% USDA ground Angus chuck. Get more details and see their complete menu at rustystucson.com.
And this Friday, we've got a sweet deal for you from Rusty's Family Restaurant and Sports Grill. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at wildcatsradio1290.com.
Wildcat fans, join head coach Adia Barnes and the Arizona women's basketball team in McHale Center this season. Single game tickets start as low as $17 and are available for purchase now. You won't want to miss the fierce competition coming to Arizona. Tickets are available at ArizonaWildcats.com/WBK. Arizona women's basketball. Let's pack McHale Center.
Wildcats Radio is the one and only home of Jim Rome and CBS Sports Radio.
I'm not going to sit here and lie. It's nice. It's good.
Tucson knows the home of the jungle is also your home of the NFL. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Well, boss, how's the sleigh?
It's amazing. Like it just flew off the showroom floor. Sparkling clean, no chimney dust, and I've never seen his nose so bright.
Recon Auto Detailing.
Recon gift cards to all, and to all a clean ride.
Give Recon Auto Detailing gift cards, and Arizona's premier auto detailing company will come do a basic cleaning or a jaw-dropping full detail, including a ceramic finish for anyone on your list. Get your Recon Auto Detailing gift cards now online at recondetail.com.
Wildcats Radio 1290 is everywhere. Wildcats fans can listen to us everywhere on our all-new app.
Now available from the Google Play Store and the App Store for iPhone users.
The home of the Wildcats is everywhere. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on the program. First segment, we were talking about a great event up at Pima College last night. The second Hall of Fame class inducted into the Pima Athletics Hall of Fame, and I was had a pleasure to be a part of that event as an enshrinee, and we are joined now by the athletics director at Pima College, Jim Monaco. And Jim, how did you put such a fabulous event together and still find time to go to Disneyland last week?
Well, I'm pretty amazing at my job, so it's easy. It took a whole bunch of folks, and they were incredible. How much work people like April Jesse and Ray Suarez and Chrissy Camargo and Chris Mayer from Pima College and PCC TV. And, David, when you put on something like that, it takes a ton of great people. And that's what we have. And I was thrilled at how well it went off last night.
When you look at this class, I mean, just a great cross-section of athletes and teams. I mean, who knew that there was judo in 1972 at Pima College? How did did it take a long time to get the class together in terms of who you guys wanted to enshrine this year?
You know something? It was, I'll be very honest, it was terrible. Choosing this year for only the second class to have people like George Arias and Gil Heredia and Jack Howell, who have not been enshrined yet and played here back in the 80s and 90s and played pro ball for however many years. And you just think about the people out there that have done such amazing things and came through Pima. It was really difficult, and it got to the point where we just went, we got to stop. I mean, I know it was 10 years, and it was a huge class, but it was very difficult. And, we're going to have it again. We're supposed to have it every 2 years now so we can get things going the right way. But I told them, I said, and the next class isn't going to be that much easier. We're not going to have that large of an enshrinement, but, we just can't. But it's going to be tough. And we were thrilled to put you in, I'll be honest.
Well, thank you very much. It's obviously an honor for me to be able to cover you guys and shine a light on your program. It's a program you've been involved with for a number of years. You, in fact, got to enshrine the guy that hired you there in Jeff Skurin. Just what did Coach Skurin mean to you, having a chance to work for him?
Jeff Green, who was a great friend of mine, God rest his soul, we coached high school ball together, and when Pima started up, he went to Coach Skurin and said, you need to hire this guy, and Jeff did. And probably the greatest thing that Coach does, Skurin, is when he hires you, he's not going to babysit you, and he gives you a lot of opportunity to make mistakes and learn from them. And I have to credit him with an awful lot of my success, if I can call it success, because he allowed me to do a job and make mistakes, learn from them, and correct them. And if it wasn't for him and people like Joanne Rust, I would never have the opportunities I've had in front of me. It's like I said last night, right? It doesn't matter if you're a kid or an adult. Pima has the opportunity to help many folks in our community, me being one.
Joanne Rust, another of the enshrinees last night. Just a tremendous administrator, not only at Pima College, but on the conference level for the ACCAC.
Oh, she's an amazing, amazing person. So intelligent, but just a wonderful person. She's amazing, and she means the world to me. She's always had a lot of faith in me, and she said last night to me, when they hired you as the coach here at Pima, I told people that's my kind of guy. He's got my stuff. I went, okay, I'll take it.
Jim Monaco joining us. He's the Pima Athletics Director up at Pima College. And Jim, you've been in this role now. Obviously, you were the football coach there. Football went away, but you transitioned into this role. What's been the hardest thing about this role as the Athletics Director versus being a football coach?
Not coaching.
Yeah.
Coaching compared to this, being honest, it's easy. Because you're really in your wheelhouse. You feel comfortable. You have people around you that you trust, and you know the game. This job is so administrative, and of course you have to know every ounce of the NJCAA rule books and handbooks. And it was funny. I always said, "Boy, what a big team I had." And, I had 110, 116 guys. But when you become the athletic director, you now have 350 some odd student athletes that are all your kids. And you're responsible for every coach and assistant coach and every piece of facilities and the budget. And, it's a different gig, but, it's just, it hasn't been hard. It's been very enjoyable, but it's been a learning experience too.
When you look at, obviously, where we are on the athletics landscape, what are some of the challenges that junior college athletics programs are dealing with? And are they similar to the challenges that we're seeing at the Division I level?
So, and by the way, let me just say this. I don't know how much time we have, but your acceptance speech was incredible, how you hammered those points home about what athletics means into this community. So once again, an incredible job on your part. But, it's budget. It's budget. You look at the U of A and you say, oh, they're $240 million in the hole. And a university that's had so much success, especially this year so far.
Yeah.
And they talk about the first words out of people's mouths is, well, we should probably cut athletics. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. And the junior college route has been, in my opinion right now, is one of the only really pure areas of amateurism left. I mean, high school kids are transferring all over the place. College kids, I saw a special the other day where a guy said if you're a really good starting left tackle in college, you're worth $500,000 as soon as you get the portal. To me, that's just a G League to the NFL.
Right.
But for us, these kids scrounge to eat, to study, to get to school and back, to live. We have no dorms. So when you go this route, as good as our athletes have been and as smart as they have been in the academic field, you got to hand it to these kids. They know how to work because they're chasing a dream, and they're really getting nothing for it except the opportunity to keep chasing. And so many of our kids have been fortunate they catch it.
Jim Monaco is joining us. He is the Pima Athletics Director up at Pima College for the Aztecs. And Jim, you mentioned having all these athletes that you're dealing with, but I mean, you guys have had such a great amount of success with the programs. We mentioned football got cut and a number of other programs got cut, but just the success that you've had on the soccer field, the success that you guys have had on the baseball and on the basketball courts. As the guy that's leading all that, how much joy do you take in the success of those coaches and those athletes in those sports?
I was happier last night watching Mickey Pimentel and Brian Hare and Wesley Payne get inducted into the Hall of Fame much more than I ever would be for myself. I enjoy watching the success that our coaches and players have night in, night out, every single week. We win, and the kids just keep on winning and doing so well in the classroom. It's such a pleasure to be part of it. I mean, honestly, I feel like I just kind of drive the bus. I mean, every single thing we have been doing has worked so well, and it's all because of those incredible coaches that we have and those student athletes that we have. And especially when you hear it last night, when you have grown men that have played 15 years in the league and they're talking about their coach, who they loved and who believed in them. It's just a tremendous feeling to watch that night after night, and how our student athletes just love their coaches and love doing what they're doing right now.
You mentioned Mickey Pimentel, and I thought his speech was one of the better ones as well. Just kind of talking about how he came here and wasn't necessarily the greatest academic kid, but turned himself into that. And not only got a scholarship to play football at the next level, but got a scholarship at Cal Berkeley, which is one of the best academic institutions in this country.
And graduated as an academic All-American.
Yeah. I
mean, I was floored. And what I said last night was the truth. I had to make sure he was in algebra every day. Because, at that age, when he was the player of the year in California. So that tells you enough right there. And when we got him, it certainly wasn't because of lack of talent. At 236 pounds for us, he's running a high 4.3, and he was just tremendous. But the light didn't click, and then it did. And that's all you can hope for sooner or later, right? And he graduates from the University of Cal Berkeley. He gets to play in the league. And his mom, I'm telling you that she was an amazing lady, and what she did to get her family out of Cuba to come here was just phenomenal.
I mean, absolutely, yeah. I mean any time, like what he said is he's like if my mom hadn't have done that, he wouldn't have been standing there on that stage last night.
And he's right.
Tremendous story. Jim, how can folks, if they want to get involved with Pima Athletics, and how can they do that?
Well, first of all, we'd love you to come out and watch.
Yeah.
The product on the field, it's so hard to pick one thing over another, but men's basketball has been ridiculous. I mean, the closest
they score
game
about 120 points every night.
Yeah, 21 points. And I mean, they're undefeated, and they're just it's ridiculous how well they've played. And that's nothing against all our other sports who are ranked, but just phenomenal. We'd love you to come out and see. If anybody ever wants to donate to the Pima Community College Foundation, they can go on the website where it's pimafoundation.com. We have all kinds of opportunities to just give, because anything that's given to the foundation goes straight to our kids.
Yeah.
With some of our great sponsors like Casino del Sol and especially Chapman Automotive, that money they give us, we've put in new scoreboards. We've added things to the study hall area so that our student athletes have more opportunity. So for people to be able to just say, look, I'd like to give $10, get in touch with the Pima Foundation, or just come out and watch and support the kids before you donate anything. I absolutely suggest you come out and take a look at the product first. I think they'd be very, very surprised at how amazing our kids are, and the atmosphere in the gym and out on the field is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, and then again, last 2 years being able to host the NJCAA soccer tournament here, just another chip that shines a light on this unit, on this college, and all the things that it offers in this community right here. But I thought Coach Skurin just kind of said it best. It offers kids that opportunity, whether it's academic. I think what he said, an academic with football as a lure. It was kind of the way that it worked when he was the coach there. I kind of liked the way that he put that.
Yeah, Edgar Soto always had a thing saying, you got to remember that the educational part is the carrot. We have to hang that in front of them so they chase that carrot because you can't play without it. And I've taken that motto and kind of gone with it because it really is. Academics is without a doubt the carrot you hold in front of them because they must complete their academics in order to even have the opportunity on the field. And it's true. Once again, if you listen to everybody, and I know you did, that spoke last night, all they kept talking about was an opportunity and how much love they got. And that's how I sold football. I said, you know what? You might get a dormant Western, but nobody will love you more than we will, and we'll take care of you to the best of our ability. And kids bought into that, and that was awesome, and that's why we were successful, and that's why I really believe we are successful. Our coaches are heartfelt. They love their kids.
All right, Jim, you're going to come by the studio and sit in with me one day so we can talk for a couple of segments about your life as a police officer?
I'll come in anytime, but then I'm going to interview you.
Oh, I'm not that interesting, trust me. Jim,
Yeah, but I can get some stuff out of you.
Jim, appreciate you as always. Again, congratulations on a great event, a great class into the Pima Athletics Hall of Fame, and we'll talk to you again soon.
I love you, buddy. Hopefully we'll see you Christmas Eve.
Definitely. He's cooking a lot of fish, I've heard.
You bet.
Well, I don't eat fish, Jim. All I need is one piece of chicken, and I'm good.
You get pasta.
There you go. Jim Monaco, he is the athletics director up at Pima College. A great guy for sure. All right, let's make sure we get you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather. Here is Hollywood.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together, sponsored by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Heads up for that earlier injury collision, Greasewood and Ironwood Hill Drive. That's Ironwood Hill Drive and Greasewood for a crash there. Traffic hazard on La Cañada Drive and West Overton Road. And a crash reported over on 1st Avenue and East Fort Lowell. Heads up there. Your Wildcats Radio 1290 weather. For today, partly cloudy, highs near 77. Tonight, bundle up, getting a little chilly out there. Overnight lows going down near 49. Currently, it is 76. And I'm Hollywood with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt Tax Services, home of the money today guarantee. Need money for the holidays? Avoid the yikes before Christmas. Hurry into Jackson Hewitt for a holiday loan on your tax refund, up to $1,000. Early refund advance offered to eligible clients. Application required. Finance charge applies. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
If you look under the tree in our showroom at O'Reilly Chevrolet, you'll find an additional $1,000 in O'Reilly cash on any new and used models. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Wildcat fans, join head coach Adia Barnes and the Arizona women's basketball team in McHale Center this season. Season tickets are on sale now. You won't want to miss the fierce competition coming to Arizona. Season tickets are available now at ArizonaWildcats.com/WBK. Arizona women's basketball. Let's pack McHale Center.
Well, it's that time of year. You dress the kids up for the holiday parties, and they hate it. You dress everybody up for the annual holiday card picture, and, well, everybody hates that. You even dress the turkey, and we're pretty sure he's not happy about that. This year, dress up your yard in time for the holidays. Call Dorado Rockin' Materials, and we promise there will be no complaints. Make your yard beautiful and worry-free with their personal service and convenient delivery times. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Are you ready to adopt? Come to the Humane Society of Southern Arizona. When you adopt from us, you will save more than one life. You'll also make room for the next pet in need. The Humane Society of Southern Arizona has been compassionately serving pets and the people who love them since 1944. Our knowledgeable adoption matchmakers will help you find the right pet for your home and support you after you adopt. We are open 7 days a week at our main campus at 635 West Roger Road. Learn more and see adoptable pets at hssaz.org.
Hey guys, Chris Brockman here. Prize Picks, it's the most fun I've had, winning up to 25 times my money this football season. And now I can play during basketball season too. I can take combo projections across both sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less their projection, and place your entry. You could turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. And Prize Picks is the only DFS platform with an injury insurance policy, keeping you in the game if one of your players goes down. Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/primetime and use the code PRIMETIME. That's code PRIMETIME at prizepicks.com/primetime for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Wildcats Radio 1290 has been through all the ups that Wildcats fans experience.
Here comes the posse, and they sack him. Navy shirts everywhere.
They are swarming tonight. And the downs.
Ball is loose. Bulldogs pick it up. The 4th Arizona turnover of the night.
1290 is always there by your side to bring you all the raw emotion of the moments that matter to Wildcats fans. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Can't get enough of your Arizona Wildcats? Make sure to stop by Taco Bell in the spring for a meet and greet opportunity with some of your Arizona men's basketball players at Taco Bell. Pick up your favorite Taco Bell combo and live Moss with an autograph or photo from Kylan Boswell and Keyshawn Johnson. Taco Bell, locally owned and operated and proud partner of Arizona Athletics. Bear down and live Moss.
For the real story behind some of wrestling's biggest moments, it's Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard and Conrad Thompson, too.
You never say never. I mean, that's coming from somebody who said never. Matter of fact, I said never, ever, ever. Impossible will not happen.
It's crazy to think at this point in our Something to Wrestle existence, you've been back with WWE longer than you weren't with WWE at this point. Isn't that crazy to think about?
A little bit.
Something to Wrestle, wherever you listen.
Remember, the one and only play-by-play home for Arizona Athletics is 1290. So if you're listening to Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball, you have it locked on 1290. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Boswell to Johnson, top of the circle. Handing off for Love. Open for 3. Got it. Caleb Love with Alexis of Tucson Charity 3. Timeout, Wisconsin.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Glad to be back with you on a Monday after taking a week off from shows. So we will be with you all week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. We'll also be obviously with you Saturday for the game against Purdue. That'll be a 2:30 tip-off, so I believe we come your way around 10:30 in the morning. So we actually get to sleep in a little bit this Saturday, J-Dub, which is kind of nice. And then we will work with you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, leading you into next Wednesday's matchup up in Phoenix. And we got something exciting we're going to be telling you a bit probably tomorrow. We'll wait tomorrow to tell you about that. Something exciting going on for the Wednesday game up in Phoenix against Alabama.
Really be able to sleep in for that one.
You're right. That is a 9 o'clock game. We've had a 9 o'clock game once already this season. We'll have another one up there in Phoenix. And then we'll probably, that's not confirmed, but we'll probably then take off Thursday and Friday of next week ahead of the Saturday game against Florida Atlantic. And then obviously Christmas Eve and Christmas Day will be off. But then we'll be back with you for the 3 days leading, or the 2 days actually leading into the Alamo Bowl, which will be on the 28th. So we'll be with you the 26th and the 27th. And then the 28th for the Alamo Bowl. And then the 29th is Arizona basketball. They'll open up the Pac-12 part of their schedule. I believe the first game is at Cal. I'm not looking at the schedule currently, but I believe the first game is at Cal 29th.
Yeah.
And then we'll have, actually, what'll be nice, we'll have a Saturday off, which we don't normally get a Saturday off because they're playing Friday, Sunday. That week we'll come back on. We really won't have Sunday or Saturday off. Well, I won't, because that'll be the day of the Arizona Bowl. I'll probably be over there as well, so I'll probably hop in there and check that out. And then Sunday we'll come back for the Stanford game, which is an early game on New Year's Eve, and then we'll get through the post-game show and we can all go watch the taco drop in downtown Tucson, which I did for the first time last year.
Were you impressed?
It's very interesting, to say the least. It's very very interesting. The taco comes down. It's not a long drop, but it's a very impressive short drop for the taco.
Have you ever seen a more
down.
Impressive taco drop before that day?
No, I have not. And it didn't rain. Is like, because I'm like, I'm not the last place I'm going to be out. I'm not going to be out and about if the weather's bad. But it was chilly, but it wasn't like cold that night. So it was just warm enough that you could be out there and not feel like you were like freezing your giblets off.
Yeah.
And so it was cool. It was fun to finally get a chance to do it, because I never had gotten a chance to do it before. So it was nice to get a chance to do it.
Also, soft tacos are a thing. And in fact, they're a big thing around here. Most people prefer it. But that crunchy style taco, when you got rain, soggy, nobody likes a soggy taco. You definitely don't want water on your taco.
We thought we were going to see it in 2019. We went down there and we saw it was a Prince cover band that played at the Rialto that night. And so we thought the show was going to end before the midnight, but it really didn't. It kind of went past midnight, so we didn't want to leave because we were having such a good time with the Prince. I don't know if you're a Prince fan or not.
I think everybody's a Prince fan, aren't they?
I would die for you, yeah, darling, if you want me to, you.
Purple Madness.
Die for you, yeah. So that was good.
Shout out Purple Madness.
Was that the group?
That's the group.
Purple Madness. Yeah, they were good. We're kind of into these, cover bands and yacht rock bands and that kind of thing. So that Purple Madness was very good. So we didn't get out to see the taco drop that particular night, but we did see it last year. And then obviously COVID happened. And 20 and 21, I think we did. We just kind of stayed home, as what they say, toast at home, toast at midnight. And then you can put toast in the oven and actually have toast as well at midnight. My wife hates that.
Have you ever done any have you ever gone to like a movie for New Year's Eve where they timed the start of the movie to some event at midnight?
No, I've not.
We went, Paige and I, she's a big fan of the movie Labyrinth. That's like a part of, I think, a lot of our childhoods in the mid-'80s, a lot of those funky mid-'80s movies. She loves that movie. And so we went to the Loft and saw it on New Year's Eve. Probably 2015 or 16, and they timed it so that there's a scene where his character, points to the clock and puts the clock at midnight, and they timed it to have it start. So basically, the stroke of midnight was, synced up with the movie. That was a fun thing, and of course, they had everybody dressed up in costumes, and it was a real a cosplay kind of thing. So it was a good time.
Nice. All right, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Wildcat men's basketball, 98-73. You heard the highlight there at the top from Caleb Love, who played 28 minutes in that game, finished with 20 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, just 1 turnover. He had 2 steals. He's been a stat sheet stuffer, and just not what a lot of people expected from this game. I don't think anybody. I mean, again, it was on point to what Arizona has done at home all season to lesser competition, but you didn't expect that against the team the caliber of Wisconsin for them to basically blow through the line and blow through the over-under and basically do what they had done to teams like UT Arlington and Southern and whoever else has come in here so far this season. But they did, and the head coach of the Wisconsin Badgers, Greg Gard, came away heck of impressed with the number 1 team in the country.
You know, I knew coming in, Arizona had a heck of a team, and seeing them up close in person, doesn't change my opinion of them. And I think, as I just talked to Coach Lloyd out in the hallway here, you know, when Larson makes threes, it changes what you can do defensively, because Ballo is such a load inside, and it's hard to keep help in the paint around him. You know, we'll learn a lot from this as we go through the tape. I didn't think we were as good defensively, not near as good as we had been, but that's in large part contributed to Arizona of how they attacked us and how they got us spread out at times.
You know, the high-low is really, really impressive when your guys knock down 3-point shots like they did in that ball game. You heard Jaden Bradley in the open. Obviously, Pella went 4 for 4. I think he got three threes from Caleb Love in that ball game. It's very easy when you've got a big man like Umar Ballo who can not only score it, and I think the one time he was double teamed, right. It was the play he found Bradley. He was double teamed and found the outlet to Bradley.
That was such a great pass too, because if you watch the replay of that, he really threaded that through a couple of Wisconsin defenders. I think it's pretty clear. We've talked about this a lot on the pre and post game, but when you have 5 offensive threats, there's a lot of years being a college basketball fan where you complain about what your team does not have. That's the par for the course. Those are most of the years. And then every once in a while, DK, you come across a year like this where if you up and down the roster, it's hard to really find weaknesses and say, oh, that guy, he's a great defender. He's good at dribbler, can't shoot. That guy's really good, dribbler, can't shoot, terrible defender. That's the general talking points of most college basketball fans. But this team has 5 legitimate threats on the court at all times. And like you heard from Coach Gard there, when Pella, Keyshawn Johnson, and the kind of guys that you maybe don't expect to hit those shots, it just opens everything up for everybody else and makes it much easier. That big 20-2 run, happened during that stretch where Pella was knocking down those threes, just stepping into threes, getting threes off of catch and shoots, and he's got a great release, always has. It's interesting because there are guys on this team, DK, who you expect, Caleb Love, Kylan Boswell, to knock down open shots, but there's 6 or 7 guys legitimately who can knock shots down, and so it's so difficult to game plan against a situation like this. Umar Ballo, also such a threat down low. Coach Gard talked about how he had seen Ballo on tape, but he wasn't exactly convinced until he saw him in person just how big that Umar Ballo is.
Ballo's bigger in person than he looks on film. I mean, I kind of been told that coming in. Johnson was really, I thought, a key last year for San Diego State's run to the Final Four and what he does defensively, and for them to add him here and help solidify their front line. And he does. I mean, he's physical. He's big. He's, obviously a good athlete. So I thought we got rushed at times. Thought we could have kicked it out at times. But that, like I said, that's a credit to them to how physical and in addition how big they are. Krivas too. I have to mention him because he's going to be a heck of a player. And they get bigger when he comes in.
Yeah, I mean, we've only talked offense, DK, but really what happened on Saturday was the Wildcats' physical on-ball defenders, especially the perimeter defenders, along with, talking about Keyshawn Johnson, Pella Larson with those swing positions, switching on all those. They didn't double anybody in the post, and Wisconsin didn't know what to do with that, and they just took them out. Super solid, strong screens is what that offense is all about to get guys open. Kylan Boswell, Caleb Love, they fought over every single high ball screen. KJ Lewis, obviously, as well. So watching how the physicality that Arizona answered Wisconsin's offensive physicality, it was just so impressive because after maybe 15 minutes, those screens weren't quite as hard as they were to start the game. Arizona really took them out of what they wanted to do.
This will be the first of a home and home between these two programs. Next year, it'll be a little bit earlier in the season. It'll be in mid-November in Madison, Wisconsin. And as excited as we are as fans and followers of these programs about these games, the home and home with Duke, the home and home with Wisconsin, home and home a few years ago with Tennessee, Greg Gard is equally on the coaching side excited about these types of matchups.
I think it's great for college basketball. I'm old school in terms of I know there's so many games that are neutral sites. We played in a baseball field last year. We're playing in a hockey arena next year in San Jose against Stanford. But ships, we play everywhere but Mars or the moon. To do these true home and homes, I think it's old school, which is good. I think it's great for college basketball. It's great for, Arizona's campus today. It'll be great for our campus and next year when that happens. But regardless, you want to play really good teams, and we've got a good team. Tommy's got a really good team. Hopefully through the next 3-4 months, we can get to a point where we can be at their level, and who knows, maybe we meet each other again down the road. But I think it's just great for, college basketball. And, I think credit to Tommy, I ran into him. This all kind of started 2 years ago at a Final Four. We were at an awards show. I was with Johnny Davis, one of my former players, and said, "Hey, would you ever want to play a home and home?" And he said, "Yeah, my fans want you guys to come in because they remember some years." But credit to him and obviously, I guess obviously us too, because there are a lot of coaches and programs that won't do this. They won't stick their neck out and go play these type of games on an away court. And like I said, we'll learn a lot from it, even though it was. They took it to us quite a bit, but it'll help us as we go forward this year.
I really hope, DK, that concept and the philosophy of most coaches of not scheduling home and homes with their Power 5 schools because of, there's a lot of downside to that, or has been traditionally with your rankings, BPI, RPI, or whatever. I hope that goes away. The last 15 years, it's been harder, much harder for these coaches. But we all remember the 80s and 90s. It was a lot of home and homes between the big schools. And how better to prepare yourself than seeing a team like Wisconsin. They just took it to Marquette, number 3 ranked Marquette. They just went in and beat Michigan State in their own building very convincingly. So that's a very good basketball team. Don't look at that final score against the Wildcats Saturday and think Wisconsin's anything other than a top 15, top 20 team. It's a very good team. I love it. I love it, especially this time of year. It's really just a litmus test to see where your guys are at, what you got to work on moving forward. I'd like to see schedules, and Duke was the start. Wisconsin, then the next game's coming up. It's going to be, quite the murderer's row for the Cats to get through, but it's only going to make them better, win or lose.
All right, we'll get into that. He mentioned that they played a game on a baseball field. We'll get into that in the next hour. This is DK on the Sports Tip. JW Madden is here. Hollywood is in the building with your traffic and the weather. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Thank you, DK. From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Heads up for a crash on 1st Avenue and Fort Lowell. Another crash over on Golf Links and Kolb. That's Kolb and Golf Links for a crash. Also 6th Street and Campbell for a wreck. Earlier injury collision now clearing on Greasewood and Ironwood Hill Drive. That's Ironwood Hill Drive and Greasewood for an injury crash now clearing. Your Wildcats Radio 1290 weather for today. Partly cloudy. Highs near 77. Overnight tonight, getting chilly. Bundle up. Lows going down near 49. Right now we're holding at 76. And I'm Hollywood in for Cricket with Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Boost Infinite.
Boost Infinite's new wireless technology gives you 3 networks for the price of 1 and better service at a lower price. Switch today. Visit boostinfinite.com. That's boostinfinite.com.
The Window Depot is more than a window store. The Window Depot is a one-stop warehouse with everything you need for your complete home remodel. Shop the aisles of pre-built cabinets in a variety of colors, granite and quartz countertops, sinks, skylights, and hardware to complete your project. Need a custom order? We can help. Our designers offer free design services and can special order everything you need for your kitchen or bathroom remodel today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Hey, Scott Lehman here from Premier Auto Center. Check out this month's Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar powered by Premier Auto Center.
Visit the Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar at wildcatsradio1290.com to find out what community events are coming up in the Tucson area. You can also find Wildcats Radio 1290 events, upcoming sporting events, and more. Get the details and get involved with our community at wildcatsradio1290.com.
I'm Scott Lehman, and I'm a dealer for the people.
1290 has earned the right to be named after the Arizona Wildcats. That's why you'll never see us skip leg day.
Haven't had a carb since 2004.
1290 is the home of the Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Rusty's Family Restaurant and Sports Grill offers a fun vibe with a great happy hour atmosphere. Located at Grant and Silver Bell, Rusty's has more than 45 televisions broadcasting every sport known to man. Rusty's is a great place to watch your football and basketball games. They even have booths with personal TVs. Enjoy a large selection of bottled beer, draft beer, wine, and cocktails. Things can get a little hectic during the holiday season. You deserve to take a break from all that holiday cooking and bring the family to Rusty's. Try any of their delicious sandwiches, salads, pub baskets, wings, and some of the best burgers in town, all made with 100% USDA ground Angus chuck. Get more details and see their complete menu at rustystucson.com.
And this Friday, we've got a sweet deal for you from Rusty's Family Restaurant and Sports Grill. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at wildcatsradio1290.com.
Well, it's that time of year. You dress the kids up for the holiday parties, and they hate it. You dress everybody up for the annual holiday card picture, and, well, everybody hates that. You even dress the turkey, and we're pretty sure he's not happy about that. This year, dress up your yard in time for the holidays. Call Dorado Rockin' Materials, and we promise there will be no complaints. Make your yard beautiful and worry-free with their personal service and convenient delivery times. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Hey, did you guys know? Did you guys know the average person eats 9 spiders whenever I cook for them?
From his multiple Netflix comedy specials, Anthony Jeselnik brings his new stand-up tour, Bones and All, to Diamond Center Desert Diamond Casino, Sahuarita. Don't miss Anthony Jeselnik live on Saturday, February 3rd at 8 p.m. Purchase tickets at the Reward Center or at etix.com or anthonyjeselnik.com.
Attention Tucson. Remember, if it's game day and the Wildcats are taking the floor, you can count on 1290 to bring you all the play-by-play action, the biggest pre- and post-game show in the Pac-12. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We bring you the best coverage in Tucson of Jed Fish and the Arizona Wildcats football all year long. When you hear the Cats on the radio, you're listening to 1290. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Why does 1290 run this town?
It's simple. 1290 is the only radio station that can bring you Thursday, Sunday, Monday Night Football, the NFL playoffs, and the Super Bowl. Scoreboard 1290.
This is the home of the Wildcats.
This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
3 little words no parent wants to hear.
My tummy hurts.
And it always seems to happen at the worst times. Like in the middle of the morning rush, when you still have homework to check and lunches to pack, and of course, you're already late for work. Luckily, there's Pepto Kids. Pepto Kids chewables provide fast relief for common stomach issues, turning those 3 words into these 3 words.
I feel better.
Bad time for stomach upsets? Good time for Pepto Kids chewables. Fast relief for little tummies. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
It's no contest, Tucson. You're listening to the home of the Arizona Wildcats. That's why 1290 runs this town. This is the one and only home of your Arizona Wildcats.
And you know this, man!
We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what?
Central Northwest Tucson, duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Hour number 2 on a Monday, December the 11th. Glad to be back with you. Arizona, are you out there? Give us a call, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. We were talking in the last hour about the game on Saturday between Arizona men's basketball and Wisconsin. This week, it's number 1 versus number 3 on Saturday. We've also got a big women's game coming up for you on Wednesday night. That'll be here in Tucson. The big game for the ladies is they're going to welcome in number 5, Texas, the Longhorns, to town on a Wednesday night. That's a game you'll hear right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. We've got coaches shows the next 2 nights for you. We've got the Tommy Lloyd Coaches Show, which will be up at the Union Public House tonight. You can hear that here at 6:05. So stay right here at the conclusion of our show. You can hear what Tommy Lloyd has to say about his team's win on Saturday. And then tomorrow night, we'll have the first Adia Barnes coaches show because they've actually got a couple of big games this week. They'll play Wednesday here in Tucson against Texas, and then they go up to Tempe on, I believe it's Saturday, to play Arizona State in their Pac-12 opener. So their opener is a little bit earlier than the men. So two big games for the ladies this week as well. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You heard Greg Gard, if you were with us in the last half hour, mention that the Wisconsin Badgers last year played a game in a baseball stadium. And I was wondering, because I know they've played some football at Wrigley Field, and I thought, well, maybe they played at Wrigley Field, but they actually played a game last year against Stanford at American Family Field in Milwaukee, which is where the Brewers play. And we've kind of mentioned this throughout the fall. There was the game, the NCAA volleyball game earlier this year where Nebraska played a game outdoors to the tune of 98,000 people. And then I think Iowa, the Iowa women's basketball team, played a game outside. I don't know off the top of my head what the attendance for that game was, but I believe it was in the 50s. So I was a little bit shocked when I looked at this number. And for this game last year, it was played in mid-November. It was called the Brew City Battle between Wisconsin and Stanford at American Family Field, that only 18,000 people showed up for that game. Now, I don't know. Must have been
a Bucks game on at the same time.
Could have been.
Well, I mean, if they didn't play,
could have been.
If they didn't play in the Bucks arena and they're trying to get as many seats as possible, would be my assumption.
I would have thought. I mean, as popular as Wisconsin basketball is, I mean, I don't even remember this game, to be quite honest with you, being played outside. But only 18,000 people showed up at it, and it goes back to when the Nebraska volleyball thing happened in the fall. I think I asked Sharita Stubbs at the time, the women's volleyball coach at the U of A, if they would ever consider doing something like that. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, would you guys ever do that? And she's like, well, it's maybe possible, but she didn't seem really like committing to be, oh, yeah, that would be something we'd absolutely want to do. And it got me to thinking when I heard Greg Gard say that, what if you played an Arizona men's basketball game at the stadium early in the season? You could do that here. I mean, the weather is perfect for that. How many people do you think you can you can't sell out Arizona Stadium for football? I guarantee you could probably put 52,000 people in there for an Arizona men's basketball game.
I got an answer to your question.
Okay, about the Iowa game?
55,646, which was nearly double the previous record, which was from the 2002 national championship game between Connecticut and Oklahoma. That was 29,000 at the Alamo Dome. So it was Hawkeyes over DePaul at the, quote, crossover at Kinnick was the name of the game.
Yeah.
55,000 plus.
Kinnick Stadium. That's the football stadium. Because I remember they got to wave to the kids, which is kind of the thing they do there. They wave to the kids in the hospital that's located right next to the stadium.
Right. Yeah, great tradition.
But yeah.
I mean, I think Caitlin Clark is going to draw as many fans as can fit into a stadium or a building at this point.
Well, they had the WNBA draft over the weekend. The Phoenix Mercury did not win, so she will not be coming to play here unless, of course, they work out some type of trade. The Mercury did get the number 3 pick coming up in this year's draft, but the Indiana Fever got the number 1 pick over the weekend in the WNBA lottery. So it looks like, but again, you've got Caitlin Clark. You've got, Haley? What's the girl from Stanford? These names are just, I can't even remember them all.
There are a lot of great players going on.
I'm sorry. What is her name? Not Haley Britt. It's Haley, though, is her first name. And then I'm going to get in trouble with all my female listeners here because I cannot remember that girl's name.
It's okay. You're pulling an audible and talking about something you weren't preparing to talk about.
But
think about this. Like,
so you're going to get you may not get Caitlin Clark with the first pick, but you're going to get a very, very good player. Hannah is her name.
2 years
Hannah
ago,
Brent.
bro, it would have been Paige Beckers is all anybody talked about.
Right.
And she's kind of forgotten now because she got injured and sat out a whole year. Everybody remembers, that matchup with the Wildcats in the Final Four. But she's kind of the forgotten. There's so many. What I'm saying is there are a lot of women right now in college basketball that are going to make a big splash at the next level. There's just a ton of talent.
Hannah Jump. That's what it is. Hannah Jump is the young lady that I was trying to think of.
Currently, Caitlin's leading the nation in scoring, 29. That's not a surprise. Juju Watkins from your alma mater is second place.
Ooh. How about that?
Yep, 27.3. That's a lot of points to score in a game.
Yeah, so would you, a U of A men's basketball game at the stadium? I don't know if they've ever, we might have to ask Dave Hickey about that when he comes on the show tomorrow.
I know that they were scheduled at one point to play on one of those carrier games back in the day, and I think they were meant to be played the year after, something to that effect. And the year before is when they had those big 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts. I think it was out at San Diego, and so they had a bunch of issues with spray water, salt water on the court. Never a good thing for basketball. And I think, if memory serves, I think they moved the next one indoors because of the effect of they were having so many issues with the outdoor games, and I don't know that we've had one since then. It was a great idea.
Yeah.
A really good visual to see all the cadets and everybody, all the officers watching the game from the deck of an aircraft carrier. I don't see any reason why you shouldn't do those events where you're playing volleyball in a football stadium, basketball in a baseball stadium, whatever. If you don't have the capacity to get as many fans as want to go to a game in an area, why not put it into a bigger venue? I like it. I just think in the event of basketball is tough because even a little bit of perspiration on the court can lead to serious injuries.
That's
right?
true.
Because you're moving so fast and the cuts are so quick, the lateral cuts in particular. So I worry about basketball outdoors. I think you're right. I think Tucson this time of year, November, December, you're going to be okay generally without too much moisture on the court. But I don't know. If maybe they've never even brought it up to the athletic department, the athletic directors about holding an event like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Again, I think that's, we talk about, the fact that it's the thing to do here in Tucson. And I think even in that early press conference, I asked Dave Hickey about that earlier this year. They had a press conference at the Sands Club. And I asked him, has there been any talk about a new facility?
Yeah.
At the time. And again, he wanted nothing to do with that question right there because, again, the historical nature of a McHale Center, similar to what, when we talked to the gentleman from Duke and we asked him about that as well, if they had ever thought about, enlarging that facility or creating another facility. Yeah, you don't want to mess with history like that.
I bet you 55,000 people would sign up to go to one of Fred Harvey's barbecues that he holds famously.
I just think in a day, but it's a legit question though. In a day when you're, and I get it, I get the historic significance of a McHale Center and what that means, but you cannot tell me that if you built another facility where you could put potentially another 5,000 to 7,000 people in it, that would not affect your bottom line in an era where you need to affect your bottom line.
Yeah, I think college basketball is tough because what you really want, and that's why I understand Durham. I understand the philosophy in Durham because what you really want is an intimate, dangerous atmosphere for opposing teams to come into. You really like it because you notice the atmosphere of Final Four games in those really voluminous, cavernous buildings they put them in. It just doesn't have the same feel as an on-campus event. It's just there's a certain element to home crowds in particular, partisan crowds. That game Saturday, I was there, and the first half felt a lot like those mid-'80s, late mid-'90s games where the passion of the crowd and the cheers that Coach Kerr got when they show him up on the Jumbotron or Tito, there was a different energy. to the building. And I think if you added another 10,000 seats and made a giant, cavernous place, you may lose it. That's the issue. I think a lot of on-campus facilities aren't generally built bigger because they're trying to maintain that intimacy.
You want to weigh in on that today? 520-848-1290. That is not where I thought we were going at the top of the segment in terms of, it kind of was, because I knew that where I wanted to go was the outdoor part of it, coming off what Wisconsin had done last year. And if you thought you could get 50,000 into Arizona Stadium to watch a U of A men's basketball game, which I honestly think that this community would do that. But then again, you start to ask yourself with the financial constraints that are happening right now, would a bigger building, and I get what J-Dub is saying in terms of you don't want to take away that intimacy, but if you thought you could get 5,000 to 7,000 more people in there every night, I mean, you're pretty much selling it out now as it is. What would that do for your bottom line in an era where you need every single penny to be competitive?
I will say briefly before we go
athletics?
to break that my dad was a professor of medicine at the U of A, and he was friends with Coach Snowden. And that whole bear down thing that happened with the kiddie corps, there were hundreds of people standing outside because they couldn't get in, which more or less was why McHale was built to begin with. And here we are 45 years later and having the same conversation. Are there enough people that would justify putting more seats, building a bigger place, because there's so much demand that people would want to go and would fill it up nightly? Right?
I mean, you're going to eventually have to do it. You eventually are going to have to. I mean, professional sports don't operate like that. They don't. Again, you have very few venues. They even built a new Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually Wrigley Field will go away.
It's like Madison Square Garden.
Eventually Fenway Park is going to go away.
It's like Madison Square Garden 4, right?
Yeah.
Aren't they on number 4 at this point?
I mean, eventually those historic venues are going to have to go away for something that's more modern. Unless you just want to remodel it. But you can do that. Make it better. Build it out. More amenities for the players. Whatever not. But eventually there's going to have to be a new building. When does that time come? When does that time come in Durham? When does that time come here in Tucson? When does that time come in Westwood? 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Getting you home every 20 minutes. A little bit late on the fives. Got to hit my marks better. Here's Hollywood.
Thank you, DK. From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Headed up for a crash on Campbell Avenue and River. That's River and Campbell Avenue for a crash there. We have an injury collision reported on 6th Street and Campbell. That's Campbell and 6th Street for an injury crash. Another crash over on Golf Links and Kolb. Also headed up for a wreck over on 1st Avenue in East Fort Lowell. Your Wildcats Radio 1290 weather for today, partly cloudy, highs near 77. For tonight, getting chilly, heading down to 49. Bundle up. Currently, it is 76. And I'm Hollywood, in for Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer. Time is of the essence with COVID-19. Prescription oral treatment must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Learn more at treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
There is a difference when it comes to sports radio. If you want Wildcats play-by-play and the NFL and the Super Bowl, you turn to 1290.
Come on, it's brilliant.
This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sam knows when people want some pizza, they search for pizza near me. Sam also knows if Sam's Pizza doesn't prominently appear when that map returns with pizza shops, well, then Sam's Pizza is not on the map.
Cumulus Boost can help by consistently managing Sam's online listings, managing reviews, and dozens of other things the search engine uses to put businesses on the map. Cumulus Boost helps make sure Sam gets the click. Cumulus Boost. Get on the map. CUMULUS Boost.com.
With tens of thousands of satisfied patients across America, it's no surprise QC Kinetics gets 5-star reviews.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
I can recommend them highly. I would recommend QC to anybody.
QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
Real people with real lasting relief from joint pain.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me.
It was super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
This non-surgical approach is definitely the future.
I tell as many people as possible. I am an ambassador. I love QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. No drugs, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 520-497-4955. That's 520-497-4955. 520-497-4955.
Here at Alaskan AC, we believe every kid in town should have a toy under the tree this Christmas.
And we know you believe that too.
So does the United States Marine Corps.
Let's bring that all together and make a big difference this year.
When you donate a new, unwrapped toy to Toys for Tots, Alaskan AC will match it with another toy.
One toy becomes 2.
Or make a donation and we'll match your donation so $1 becomes 2.
You can drop off your toy at our offices or give it to one of our techs working in your home.
Last year, we donated thousands of toys with your help.
Plus over $10,000 to Toys for Tots.
A small donation can make a big difference this Christmas.
Make your donations before December 15th and we'll do the rest.
We'll match every toy you donate.
And match every dollar you donate.
To make Christmas wonderful for every kid in town.
Find out more at AlaskanAC.com.
When my daughter gets a cold, I have a secret weapon. DayQuil Kids Berry from Vicks. DayQuil Kids is specially formulated to treat kids' most bothersome cold and cough symptoms quickly. And the best part is that DayQuil Kids Berry tastes really great. Aren't you supposed to be resting? Maybe.
DayQuil Kids Berry. The Kids Berrylicious daytime congestion, coughing, stuffy head, stuffy nose, just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6 years plus.
Happy 62nd birthday, Granddad.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I got you this.
A mug. What does it say? Beware. If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of serious consequences from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. RSV vaccines, including Pfizer's, are available. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Wildcats fans from coast to coast can bring a little bit of Tucson to themselves wherever they happen to be by streaming 1290 on our website at wildcatsradio1290.com. The home of the Wildcats is everywhere. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Yeah, Chicago.
Saturday in the park. I think it was the 4th of July. Saturday.
Great stuff there. Good song. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. If Arizona men's basketball played a game at Arizona Stadium, would the Wildcats sell that out? What's the attendance there? 52,000, I think. 52,000. Could we get 52,000 people to watch Arizona men's basketball play at Arizona Stadium? Only 18,000 people showed up to American Family Field, whatever it's called now, Miller Park. Used to be Miller Park. I like that better when it was Miller. I don't know why Miller got out of the stadium naming business in Milwaukee. Only 18,000 people last year showed up to watch the Wisconsin Badgers play the Stanford Cardinal last year at Miller Park. I would think we could blow that away if you put a court in the middle of Arizona Stadium and played a basketball game here in Tucson in October in the evening under the lights. You kidding me? When it's like about 80 degrees, 70, 80? 50,000 easy. Easy. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 to respond to that. Let's hear from Bill. You're on Wildcats Radio 1290 DK on the Sports Tip.
Hey, a little information on probably why the Badgers didn't draw too many people at Miller Park.
Okay.
University of Wisconsin's campus is in Madison, about an hour away, and Milwaukee mainly follows Marquette. Marquette basketball is huge in Milwaukee.
That's true. I would not disagree with that at all. Maybe they should have played Marquette instead of Stanford like they did this year. I would still think. I mean, it's still the top state school though. That would be like us going and playing. Okay, let's flip it. Take the Wildcats to Chase Field. I still think you might not draw 50,000 to Chase Field, but I think you would put more than 18,000 in there. You think?
I don't know. That's kind of a hard call the way Phoenix has so much going on and with the Devils up there.
Interesting. I wonder if the roof was closed that day for that game. Probably. Yeah, that's a good point, though. Bill, that's a very good point. Marquette is very Milwaukee is very Marquette-centric.
Yeah, and the Bucks, obviously, that's their home, too. So,
do you think, though, that you could put 50,000 into Arizona Stadium for a basketball game?
Depends on the opponent.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
you would want to. Well, you wouldn't. I don't think you would do that for just anybody. Like if you're gonna do an event like that, I think it's got to be a marquee opponent.
You wouldn't. Yeah, top 25 team.
Yeah, I don't think you're opening up Arizona Stadium to play
Morgan State.
UT Arlington.
Yeah, no.
Obviously not.
Thanks a lot for your call, Bill. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, David.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. Let's hear from Sean. Sean, you are on Wildcats Radio 1290, DK on the Sports Tip.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
I'm going to say this is an awesome topic to bring up for multiple reasons, in my opinion. You know, our U of A president saying that we're out of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So two parts to this. I'm going to start with why doesn't U of A or McHale Center host like concerts and things like that? I mean, maybe it's not quite set up perfectly for it, but I don't understand how we're not using that as a revenue generator. Sure, Rialto can pull in 350 people to watch, some unknown band or whatever it is. But we don't ever draw any like big names here because, all the big stadiums are in Phoenix. So we have to all travel up to Phoenix to see a concert. So leading into the next part, if we were to build a new arena, that opens up revenue generating opportunities through hosting concerts. If we can put 18,000-20,000 in people in the arena, I would be concerned of what that looks like for, say, women's basketball, unless they're what they were a couple years ago and feeling that. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I don't. When's the last time? I've been here since 2008. I don't know that I've ever seen a concert in McHale Center. I don't want to say that one hasn't happened, but I don't remember it. I do remember when I first got here, they tried to throw that big Jay-Z concert at the stadium, and I guess, I don't know that went very well from what I remember. We got to get that guy on because that's the same guy that threw the Katy Perry one that we talked about at the beginning of the year for Bear Down Friday. We got to get a hold of that guy because I think he's like a big music producer or at least an agent out in Los Angeles now, so he's still working in the music business. So we got to get him on. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Neither one of those venues has been used for anything other really than athletics and graduations for the last 10, 15 years anyway that I've been here.
I know McHale's seen like Bob Dylan and Kiss and back in the day, like they actually did use it as a music venue, but it's a good point. I don't know if there's a conflict. Obviously, I believe that there's people in the rooms that determine whether or not they're going to book concerts to add extra revenue have probably discussed the opportunities to do something like that. But you're completely right, Sean, in that in the last 25, 30 years, Phoenix and the general area up there has built nothing but large venues. And so it used to be in the 80s and 90s, a lot of bigger bands would come through Tucson, even pre-tour stuff. So they would play smaller venues like a comedian when he goes to a small club before he goes to Madison Square Garden for a big set, right? Just kind of fine-tuning exactly what you're going to do. Tucson was a huge stop on a lot of concerts tours back then. And in my experience, Phoenix has overtaken that in the last 15, 20 years. You're right, Sean. You really kind of have to go up to concerts in Phoenix as opposed to here in town.
I just see we're so concerned about the revenue and potential cutting coaches and the way that Tommy Lloyd responded to that. Like, I didn't come here to a place that's having financial hardship. Right. That scares me. That scares me as a fan of who I initially wasn't really I was like, really? Is Stewart hiring? To now being like, oh my God, I don't think we could have gotten a better coach. Don't really think we could have. Now, obviously, can we retain him? But us having financial issues, they better be figuring out ways to generate this additional revenue other than causing ticket price increases. I'm not a season ticket holder because I can't afford it. I obviously, the place I work, we have a lot of leadership that is, and they're all like, I don't know if I want to continue to, buy season tickets. This is getting out of hand. Don't just put it on the fans and to do that. Come up with more creative ways to generate some shortcomings in our finances.
Yeah. My wife had to go.
It doesn't have to just be concert.
Yeah.
It could be other things, like you're saying, comedy. That would be a perfect place to have a comedian, in my opinion. So, I don't know. I'll listen to your take offline. I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in, guys.
Appreciate you, Sean. Thanks a lot for calling the show.
Wrestling.
Wrestling, exactly. Wrestling.
There you go. That'd be huge. That's perfect. Perfect.
Wait, now I think now I do remember. I think the Globetrotters were at McHale a few years ago.
Yeah.
So that was
I went when I was a kid.
Yeah, I saw him there as a kid too.
I saw the Globetrotters in McHale when I was a kid. For sure.
Yeah. So that is at least one non-U of A revenue event that I can remember that was there recently. Yeah, my wife.
That was when I was a kid. That's 20 years ago, if not longer, 25 years ago.
But yeah, it was recent. They came back. I want to say they were here maybe in the last 7 or 8 years once. I believe it was since I've been here.
We'll put all our collective heads together and come up with some concepts and send them over a proposal.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, take care, guys.
My wife had to go up the road. She went to see Stevie Nicks at the stadium at Chase Field on Friday night. Stevie Nicks and the great Billy Joel, William Joel, came to town, and she went up and saw that. I was surprised that they were doing a stadium, and then they announced last week that Journey and Def Leppard are going to do Chase Field in 2024. I saw them. It was an arena show, so it's amazing. It was that was when I lived in Memphis in 2007. I saw them do an arena show at the FedEx Forum. Now they're doing 16 years later, they're doing stadium tours. That's shocking to me, but hey, that's that if you can sell out a stadium, more power to you.
I got a question for you that we may have to talk about on the next side of this break, but do you think the Dodgers are going to sell their stadium out this year?
They might have to.
They better.
They might have to pay for $700 million worth of Shohei Ohtani. That's okay. Wait, what do you think? If you want to talk about that today, we'll take your calls on if that's an astronomically out of this world, ridiculous amount of money to pay one person to play a sport.
I think it's 35% higher than the previous record.
Yeah.
That's the crazy. The numbers is, I remember real quick when Garnett signed his $100 million contract in the NBA, and that led to the Kevin Garnett rule, which we are in today, in which all players who leave amateur status have a 4-year guaranteed contract based on where they're drafted. That's the Kevin Garnett rule. You can't just make $100 million as a 23-year-old when guys like Bird and Jordan and Magic are making a third of that or a quarter of that. That's that rule. That that number, DK, 100 stuck in my mind, and that was not that long ago. He's almost making $100 million a year.
Yeah.
70. It's 700 over 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
So I remember $100 million the length of the contract being an astronomical number not that long ago, and here we are almost at $100 million per year.
That's nuts. Just nuts. And he's not going to pitch next year. Whew. Well, hey, if they get a couple of World Series out of it, it'll be worth it. If they don't, then it's going to be a total disaster.
Dads out there, teach your kid how to lead the league in home runs and be a number one ace pitcher who's second in strikeouts, and who knows what could happen.
Left-handed bat, right-handed thrower. There you go. There's no better combination than that. Getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic. Hit the post this time. Here's Hollywood.
Thank you, DK. From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290, traffic and weather together. Heads up for a collision over on Oracle and West Miracle Mile. That's West Miracle Mile and Oracle for a crash. Another collision over on Houghton and Valencia. That's Valencia and Houghton for a wreck. And we're clearing out a collision and injury crash over on 6th Street and Campbell. In your Wildcats Radio 1290 weather for tonight, partly cloudy, getting chilly. Lows heading down near 49. And for tomorrow, sunshine and highs near 78. Right now it's 74. And I'm Hollywood with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Big O Tires. From Big O Tires, get up to $140 in rebate savings on select sets of 4 Michelin tires with paid installation. Hurry, offer ends January 7th. Details at BigOTires.com. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
We return now to the holiday shopping adventures of Eugene Snarkle and his best friend Doug.
Eugene, it looks like we waited a bit too long to get our shopping done. These shelves are pretty empty.
Yeah, Doug, looks like everything got sucked up into that great big cyber savings vortex. But I've got another great idea.
We interrupt Eugene's great ideas for this commercial message.
Trying to get on the road but need some maintenance or repairs to get your car, truck, SUV, or sleigh road trip ready?
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care has some fantastic year-end savings, like $50 back on any $250 purchase. When you pay with your Jack Furrier card, you save big.
Whether it's tires, maintenance, or auto repair, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care has you covered. We can get your vehicle road trip ready and save you some big bucks.
So, Eugene, what was that great idea of yours anyway?
I was thinking about getting everybody a giant-sized bag of Cheezos.
Thanks, Eugene. And for everyone else, there's Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
You know how we Wildcats love our games. And there's no place better, closer, or safer to game than Desert Diamond Casinos. Filled with hundreds of the newest, loosest slots, dozens of your favorite table games, and superior food and beverage options. Desert Diamond is the #1 destination for your free time fun festivities. Bear down for the best time in Tucson. Go to Desert Diamond Casinos. Go Cats!
1290 brings you the passion of football like no one else.
Pittsburgh 12, 3rd and 7 for Mahomes. In the gun, flanked by the running back McKinnon. Shotgun snap, they rush 5, pump fake and a line drive into the end zone, over the shoulder catch in the back corner. It is caught for the touchdown! Grabbed by Pringle!
This season, 1290 will bring you almost 100 NFL and college football games. It's not flexing, it's just the truth. Scoreboard 1290, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, Scott Lehman here from Premier Auto Center. Check out this month's Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar powered by Premier Auto Center.
Visit the Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar at wildcatsradio1290.com to find out what community events are coming up in the Tucson area. You can also find Wildcats Radio 1290 events, upcoming sporting events, and more. Get the details and get involved with our community at wildcatsradio1290.com.
I'm Scott Lehman, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Rusty's Family Restaurant and Sports Grill offers a fun vibe with a great happy hour atmosphere. Located at Grant and Silver Bell, Rusty's has more than 45 televisions broadcasting every sport known to man. Rusty's is a great place to watch your football and basketball games. They even have booths with personal TVs. Enjoy a large selection of bottled beer, draft beer, wine, and cocktails. Things can get a little hectic during the holiday season. You deserve to take a break from all that holiday cooking and bring the family to Rusty's. Try any of their delicious sandwiches, salads, pub baskets, wings, and some of the best burgers in town, all made with 100% USDA ground Angus chuck. Get more details and see their complete menu at rustystucson.com.
And this Friday, we've got a sweet deal for you from Rusty's Family Restaurant and Sports Grill. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at wildcatsradio1290.com.
Wildcat fans, join head coach Adia Barnes and the Arizona women's basketball team in McHale Center this season. Season tickets are on sale now. You won't want to miss the fierce competition coming to Arizona. Season tickets are available now at ArizonaWildcats.com/WBK. Arizona women's basketball. Let's pack McHale Center.
Halliburton to McConnell. McConnell, the layup blocked by Davis. Reddish down the other end, throws it down. Dominant defense from Davis, does it again.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is our number. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Check out our stream at wildcatsradio1290.com. That is our website. A lot of great information over there for you. We've got you covered with everything. We got links to pretty much every entity in the state, sports entity in the state of Arizona, from the Suns to, heck, I think we've got GCU's link up over there. If you want to get your GCU Lope on, you can go over to our website and find all that information, as well as all your good stuff on Arizona Wildcats athletics. You heard that the Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers, win the NBA in-season tournament. They knocked off the Indiana Pacers on Saturday night in Las Vegas. And, J-Dub, again, this was the first time they decided to do something like this, and the Lakers raised the cup. If for anything, it gives them a sense of what they could do down the line, even though this really doesn't matter much of anything. But anytime you win anything in the course of a season, it mentally can help your focus to what you can do down the line as well when it gets real.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty clear, anybody paying attention, that there's levels to this. And right now, you've got a 40-year-old all-time leading scorer in NBA history guy running your team. Games in November, December, DK, not that valuable outside of making the playoffs, right? On the other side of things, you've got the Indiana Pacers, who are a bunch of 21, 22, 24-year-old superstars in the making. And games like this really do a lot for the confidence level, and also, proving that you can take what you've been doing. The Pacers obviously went through the Celtics and the Bucks to get to that final. Halliburton was outstanding. I think he had 15 assists and 0 turnovers in that semifinal game against Milwaukee. But the Lakers, I'll tell you what happened was the Anthony Davis came to play. I mean, we've seen that guy since he was at Kentucky and what he could do on that run to the national championship game. He's always been de facto top 5 player in the NBA. The question is, which version of him are you going to get? And the non-aggressive Anthony Davis who defers is not what they need. And what you saw, if you watched that game, was him being about as aggressive as I've seen him maybe since the bubble. And it was really Anthony Davis who dictated the tempo and the pace of that game for the Lakers. The score, it was great because the Lakers were really playing bully ball, and yet they could not shake the young Pacers team. So as far as entertainment goes, and I was telling you pregame or before the show today, to me, they're going to have to tweak this. They're going to have to tweak this, the point differentials and some of they're going to have to change some of the format of how this was done. But the big takeaway I have is playing meaningful basketball in November and December in the NBA, it just doesn't happen. You get a lot of these older teams who rest veterans. You get a lot of younger teams who are just kind of going through the motions. Maybe they partied a little too hard last night, whatever that is. It's 82 games. This game and these games during this stretch, especially the quarterfinals and the finals, were so impressive, the levels of intensity for this time of year. You just don't see that. And because it was single elimination, DK, you didn't have the luxury of scouting, adjusting, coming back for game 2, adjusting again. Those NBA playoff series, it's really, you can't you can't pull the wool over somebody's eyes in a best of 7 NBA playoff series. But these winner-take-all, one-game, winner-go-home type of things, it's just a different level. And I was really impressed with how a lot of those, very rich gentlemen played with incredible levels of energy on the court in that final game especially. So I think overall it has to be a positive. It has to be, celebrated as a success for the first inaugural season.
41 points for Anthony Davis, 20 rebounds to go along with 5 assists and 4 blocked shots in that ball game. The two Wildcats that were on the floor for the Indiana Pacers, you had Ben Mathurin, 30 minutes off the bench. He finished with 20 points in the game, 5 of 11 from the floor, just 1 of 5, though, from 3. T.J. McConnell logged 18 minutes and finished with 8 points and 9 assists, doing what TJ does.
Did you watch, because here's what happened. They were kind of pulling away the Lakers, and then they put TJ in, and TJ did TJ things, and was a pass that got a bunch of steals. You saw the 9 assists in 18 minutes. Bro, they put LeBron James on TJ McConnell. They put, not on a switch. They had LeBron guarding him down, crouched with intensity. He was on ball defending. And it's the funniest visual to watch LeBron James at 6'9", 260 or whatever he weighs, guarding TJ, because that's how worried the Lakers were about TJ coming in and turning the game around with his energy and effort. So we talked earlier about how TJ might not be in the rotation. By the way, that's because Andrew Nembhard did not play in that game. So the backup point guard for the Pacers, who normally would have logged 25, 30 minutes in that game, he didn't play at all in that game. But yeah, TJ and Ben both balled out. They both played really well in that final game.
All right, our question of the day is NBA related. Bradley Beal is available for Tuesday's Phoenix Suns game with the Golden State Warriors, but Kevin Durant is questionable. Will we see the Suns' new big three for the first time tomorrow night? Head on over right now to our Twitter page at Wildcats1290 and vote in our poll. You can vote for the next 23 plus hours. Yes, right now is winning. Yes, KD will play on Tuesday night, and the big three of Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker will finally see the floor for the first time for the Phoenix Suns. So 67% to 33% right now saying yes, KD will play. No, the wait will continue is the other answer. So head on over and vote right now. You can leave a message for us on your thoughts on that at Twitter as well as Facebook. And we will, of course, read your answer if you do leave one. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Let's hear from Richie. You're on Wildcats Radio 1290. Oh, Richie actually is our Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge contestant. Richie, welcome back from 2 weeks ago.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so this is the Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge. We have it every Thursday. We were off last Thursday, so this was 2 Thursdays ago, week 13 of the NFL season. And the game I selected was the Indianapolis Colts versus the Tennessee Titans. And here is who Richie selected in that game. Who are you taking between the Indianapolis Colts and the Tennessee Titans, Richie?
Ooh, that is a tough choice. Jonathan Taylor's going to be out, so I am going to go with the Titans.
He is going to pick the Titans. Okay. All right, Richie took the Titans, and the Titans lost to the Indianapolis Colts 31-28. I had to pick up my quarterback in my fantasy league. Richie is Allen. What's his first name for the Bills? Allen. Josh Allen. Thank you. I'm getting old. I can't remember names today. Josh Allen. So I had to go get another quarterback, and I picked up Gardner Minshew that week. He threw for 312 yards and 2 touchdowns. I know you were worried about Jonathan Taylor, but Gardner Minshew got it done for the Indianapolis Colts, as well as the Arizona Kellys. That's the name of my fantasy team, the Arizona Kellys, because I play with my brothers, and they live in New Jersey, so I represent Arizona, and my logo is the Block A. Don't tell U of A that, because I might get in trouble. But, so Gardner Minshew did some good for me that week. Sorry.
That's all right. Always a bridesmaid and never a bride. They should have won, missed on an extra point, but that's all right.
That's all right. All right, Richie, but you are not going away empty-handed. You are going to get a prize pack from Miller Lite, and there's some really cool stuff in that prize pack. So J-Dub has your information. Yes, J-Dub, you have his information?
We do.
So you can come by at any time and pick up that prize pack. There's maybe some things you can, if you like to tailgate at home and have a football Sunday party, there's some usable stuff in there that you can use to decorate your party and whatnot. So we appreciate.
All right, happy early birthday to me.
Yeah, there you go, Richie. We appreciate you joining in and attempting to be a winner. No, everybody wins. Nobody goes home empty-handed.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins, even when you lose. Everybody wins.
I love it. And I appreciate you guys. I'm part of the Marana Little League board, and I love your guys' coverage of all the local sports here. So it's really great to see you guys support everyone and all the good work all of our kids are doing in the community. So keep it up, and I'll keep listening.
Outstanding. You know, you mentioned Marana. I want to ask you, since you brought that up, the young man, I went out and did a story when I was at Channel 4. I went out and did a story last summer with the young man who went to the home run derby. But what's his name?
Oh, I think it was Jason. Jason Voigt. Jason.
Yeah, Jason.
Yeah,
exactly. So. Jason. How did he do this past season?
I think he aged out, so he didn't play in our league.
Oh, okay.
I think he does travel ball, but we got some good players coming through.
I'm looking forward to seeing what Jason, because he went to that home run derby and won it at the Little League World Series last summer, and so he's a young man that we'll have to keep our eyes on once he starts to get. I'm sure he'll be in high school probably next year, if not the year after that. So cool. You guys keep doing great stuff out there. With Marana Little League. That's always a fun time of year when we get out to Little League season in June and July.
Oh, it sure is.
Thank you, Richie.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so Richie did not win, and we did not have a show last week. So that means now this week, J-Dub, the prize is going to be $125.
$700 million.
Well, since you brought that up, there's breaking news.
I just was reading
on
it myself.
That front.
Yeah.
We still got to get that breaking news sounder. So when I say breaking news, so apparently Shohei Ohtani has agreed to defer all but $2 million of his salary per year.
Right.
So apparently he got the Barry Bonds deal.
That's like some Gronk math.
No, it's not
right?
the Barry Bonds deal. What's the other guy?
Bonilla, right? Yeah.
Bobby Bonilla. He got the Bobby Bonilla deal here. So $70 million a year, $68 million of that is going to be deferred. So he'll get paid $2 million per year over the next 10 seasons, so that the Dodgers can continue to go out and spend money to build players around him. Wow.
I didn't get a degree in accounting, but I don't understand how you can sign somebody to a $700 million 10-year deal and say, okay, 97% of that will pay you in 15 years from now so that we can save some money. It feels like that shouldn't be something that you could do.
Well, they did it. Bobby Bonilla did it. So, I mean.
But wasn't that the very end of his career where he signed like a 40-year deal or something like that towards the very tail end of his career?
I have to go back and look exactly when he signed the deal. But, I mean, and apparently there's no rules or there's nothing that says that they cannot do it this way, according to some of the folks I've been reading here in the last few minutes. That's nuts, but hey.
I mean, it's just another year to complain about the big money teams in Major League Baseball having all the best players, right? I mean, how long has it been since we've been complaining about that?
Yeah. I mean, when you got Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts, and now you got Shohei Ohtani playing in Los Angeles. But the rich get richer, and the poor don't get a damn thing, as they say. But that is baseball. I've said for years, baseball needs a salary cap. I was in favor of that way back in 2003, 2002, when the owners had an opportunity, I felt, to shut the game down, but it never happened. Never happened.
It's because they want to see the Yankees and the Dodgers and the Red Sox involved.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. I mean, I had a chance last night to one of my classmates in the Pima College induction class was Jack Howell.
Yeah.
The famed ball player from here in Tucson that, in fact, played with the Angels. There were a lot of Angels there. I guess Gil Heredia went in with my class. He's working with the Angels. And so there was a lot of George Arias obviously played with the Angels as well. I was watching some video. I don't know if you've ever seen the video. Go to MLB.com. It might be on YouTube too. Of Jack Howell's broken bat home run at Yankee Stadium. I mean, literally shattered his bat and hit it over the right field fence for a home run.
Love it.
Yeah, it was something impressive to see for sure. All right, 2 hours in the books. When we come back in the next hour, we will dive into a little bit of U of A football talk. We've got bowl season starts this weekend, and so we'll get into that. We'll tell you a little bit about who's coming to Tucson for the Arizona Bowl, as well as we'll talk more about the Suns. We'll let you hear from Bradley Beal. And he is scheduled and available, as Frank Vogel said. He is available on Tuesday night. But will he, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker all play? Because right now Kevin Durant is questionable. So we still may not see the big three for the Suns out on the floor. It's DK on the Sports Tip. JW is here. Hollywood is here. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Thank you, DK, from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center. This is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Busy out there. We have collisions on Oracle and West Miracle Mile. Also Houghton and Valencia. That's Valencia and Houghton for a crash. Another wreck over on 1st Avenue in Fort Lowell. Injury crash now clearing over on 6th Street and Campbell. Your Wildcats Radio 1290 weather for tonight. Partly cloudy, getting chilly. Overnight lows heading down near 49. Tomorrow, sunshine, highs near 78. Right now, we're holding at 74. And I'm Hollywood, in for cricket, with Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. With a Chalupa Supreme, beefy 5-layer burrito, crunchy taco, cinnamon twist, and medium drink, Taco Bell's $5 Cravings Box is packed as ever. And $5 as ever. Get one at Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for price and participation which vary. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. Hey, Cowboy Nation. It finally happened. Your beloved Cowboys finally beat a good team. Or did they? Seriously, what do we even call the Eagles right about now, other than a team that just got hammered on national television once again? Yes, Philadelphia might be 10-3, but they just had a couple of measuring stick games, and not only did they fail to measure up, they failed to even be competitive. And no, that's not one bad night. That's two horrible nights and a bunch of nights prior to that where they just did get over. Eagles coach Nick Sirianni tried to spin it positively by saying it's just adversity. And without adversity, you do not grow. Hey, coach, whatever works for you. If I were you, I think I'd go back to your standard. Less thinking equals talent takeover. Because right about now, your talent is not taking over. So somebody's doing way too much thinking.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You've heard the buzz about IT jobs in cybersecurity and AI, right? Why not prepare for a career in these fields and take advantage of the high demand? You could enjoy a more rewarding and recession-resistant lifestyle. Train in just a few short months at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Already in IT? Skill up for positions employers need to fill. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. That's mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Have you been charged with a crime you didn't commit? It happens more than you think. When your liberty is on the line, you need an experienced attorney that will aggressively fight for you. Lerner & Rowe Law Group handles DUI and all other criminal charges. And with our affordable payment plans, it's easier than you think to get the defense you need. If the police made a mistake, call Lerner & Rowe today. We're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to take your call.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Get the backyard you've always wanted with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you're ready to dive in, then visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Schedule now and get 3 months of full service free. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. First Choice Pools, the first and only choice.
This season, the Cats will take on the Bruins, the Ducks, the Trojans, the Beavers, the Utes, the Buffs, the Huskies, the Cougs, the Cardinal, the Bears, and the School up north on Wildcats Radio 1290.
If that sound gives you nightmares, there's a cheap and easy way to avoid engines not firing. Stable, America's #1 fuel stabilizer, ensures quick and easy starts after storage. Stable's proprietary formula keeps fuel fresh for 2 years, outperforming competitors. Pour Stable in your gas can or directly into the tank of your car, truck, hybrid, boat, ATV, motorcycle, or lawnmower to prevent fuel-related engine problems that cost time and money. When you store, start with Stable.
Staples and HP want you to have a happy Holla deal. That's right, Holla deal. Now during Staples Holla deals, you can save up to $115 on the HP Smart Tank 6001 all-in-one printer with up to 2 years of original HP ink right in the box. Plus, find savings of up to 40% on select HP computers and monitors. Happy Holla deals from Staples and HP, America's most trusted printer brand. Smart Tank offer ends 12/23. HP Tech offers end 1/6/24. Visit staples.com/HP for details.
Remember to tune in to Wildcats Radio 1290 for the biggest pregame show in the Pac-12. Because that's how we roll. We go on the air 4 hours before every football and men's basketball game all season long. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona football, along with Arizona football play-by-play. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what?
Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Second one missed, but the rebound tapped out to Boswell. Over to Larson. Pella for 3 is good. There's our first Lexus of Tucson Charity 3, coming off a missed free throw. Around a high screen from Krivas, threw it back inside to Mo, around the defense and lays it in.
Arizona has an advantage with Mo Krivas.
Kick it high now for Lewis. KJ works his way inside to Keyshot. Tried to force the pass inside to Krivas, knocked away. Save. Boswell for 3. It's good. Double teamed right block. Ballo trying to squeeze his way through. Kick it out. Bradley wide open for 3. Got it.
Drawing defenders. Ballo had every Badger hanging all over him. Bradley wide open tray.
The Arizona Wildcats remain the #1 team in the country after their huge 98-73 win on Saturday over the Wisconsin Badgers. And another week off, another full week off for the Arizona Wildcats. And now they will move on to Indianapolis, where they'll face #3 Purdue on Saturday in a game that will start at 2:30. So Arizona is #1 in the AP Top 25. They got 62 of the 63 first-place votes. Houston got the other first-place vote. They are #4. It's Arizona, Kansas, Purdue, Houston, and UConn 1 through 5. Future Big 12 rival Baylor comes in at 6. And then, of course, you've got on the coaches' poll side, Arizona got 28 of the votes, and they are in first place there. Arizona, Kansas, Houston, Purdue, UConn is the 1 through 5 there on the coaches' poll side. And the other #1 votes went to Kansas. They got 1. Houston got 3 on the coaches' side.
That would sound like all future Big 12 rivals to me.
Exactly.
That conference is so stacked right now, basketball-wise.
It's going to be interesting. Florida Atlantic comes in at 15. And they are on the docket as well. Coming up, Alabama is still unranked at the moment. They are receiving votes on the AP side. Did you see this video, Jada? I'm going to show this video. I don't know if you saw it. And if you're obviously, you'll only be able to hear the audio if you're listening on one of our many, if you're listening on radio 1290, or if you're listening on one of our many audio streams. We're on the iHeart app. Don't forget that. But if you're watching us on one of our video streams at either YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, we're not on Twitch today. I have to change the password, apparently. I didn't update that on time, and we've been shut down by Twitch. So I'll do that tonight, and we'll be back on Twitch tomorrow. But guy named Alex Rabb. The name sounds familiar, but I don't know that I know him. But
how many A's are in that last name?
Rabb. How many A's? There's only one A, but there's two B's.
Two B's.
He put together this really funny video recap on the game. So I'm gonna pull up my screen here, and we're gonna play this for the folks at home so they can watch it. It's really, really, really funny here. Here we go.
Welcome to the home of the #1 team in the country. You like that? You like that? Sold out McAllen, Tucson, Arizona.
I'm not afraid anymore.
Month of the season. No offensive rebound though by Paulo. Here's Kelly Larson.
You want to see me do it again?
He's been the point guard ever since.
What the hell is even that?
Baby's naked.
Where you going? You're lost?
Fucking compete! I just can't fucking compete!
You want to see me do it again?
I think those are some bad words.
There might have been.
It's okay. I
missed that the first time that I watched it. But
I don't
let
know
people watch the video there.
I don't know about that Rob, but I knew Ivan Robb played at Cal, right?
Yes. Was it Ivan Robb or Ivan Rabb?
It's R-A-B-B.
Okay.
So same last name, but I definitely remember that name. I don't know if there's any relation at all, but
No,
yeah,
don't
I remember
think so.
him.
I don't think so. It was a funny video, though. A lot of like cartoon characters and different ways of doing things.
You mean a lot of SpongeBob?
SpongeBob was involved. Hot dogs falling on somebody's face there. Tetro McMillan made the video. A lot of fun stuff there for that Wildcats
Speaking
win.
of which, the ovation that the football players did get
The
during
lady
that commercial
from the airplane
break.
even made the video.
Yeah.
That guy is not real.
Right. Yep, that's the modern internet we live in.
Good stuff there, though. Good stuff.
The football players, the ovation they got, because we saw Coach Fish go up and say hi to Coach Kerr, and when they showed him on the jumbotron, everybody reacted, obviously, as they should. But they actually specifically took time out to introduce the football players who came by. That was a really, really nice moment the other night.
It was. I mean, it's great to see. I mean, again, like you mentioned, it was just a ton of energy in the building for that game, especially in the first half when the Wildcats went on that 20-2 run to take a 23-23 game to 43-25.
It's the perfect mix when you've got VIP legends in the house.
Yeah.
And then you've got an opponent that the fan base really would like to see go home defeated in Wisconsin because they haven't played in 10 years, and the last time was back-to-back Elite Eight defeats. And you've got a 20-2 run, DK. Those three elements is what created that noise in the building, and it really kind of started with that three. Obviously, we talked about that quite a bit in the postgame by Caleb Love, but when he got the breakaway off the steal and dunk and then followed that up by the little alley-oop to Umar in the paint after he came off of a screen, that noise level of McHale right there was about as loud as it gets outside of a Bruin game in that building.
And Umar Ballo, after the ball game, asked if it felt like a bigger deal with the likes of Steve Kerr and Terry Francona in the building.
I mean, this Wisconsin game was bigger than just us. You need to think about the past, present, and the future, especially playing against Wisconsin, knowing that we had a story with them, and we had to come out tonight and do it for the city and for ourselves.
And then Ballo, along with Pelle Larsson, spoke after the ball game and just the energy that they felt in the building from the fans on Saturday.
we play like for the city and for the school every night, but I mean this one was for sure special because of the history, and also, we have having teammates and friends from Tucson, explaining what happened and stuff like that. So maybe it gave us a little extra juice.
And that's because neither of you guys are from this country, and much less being a lot younger back when Wisconsin beat them. Does it still kind of sank in with you, or
It does, because we are a part of the family. This is our home. This is our family, and whatever happened in the past, it will affect us right now, no matter if we were here or not. But we still have to represent the family.
We talked a lot in postgame about the effect of the transfers. Keyshawn Johnson and Caleb Love coming in here. But Pella and Umar Ballo are both also transfers, but they've been on campus now, DK, for 3 years. And talk about two team-first guys who have fully embraced the Tucson community, playing for the city, for the university, for the fans in the building. I mean, those two guys, what more could you ask for from two senior leaders on the team?
Yeah, I don't think you can ask for much more than that. I mean, that's why, especially Ballo, he gets just a huge ovation in warm-ups every time, and he has been completely adopted, and it's like we mentioned that in the pregame show on Saturday. It's like a lot of these guys, or these international guys, they didn't obviously have any recollection of what happened 10 years ago because they weren't even in this country. But once you get here and you start to hear the stories and you start to learn the history, that's how you kind of become ingrained to what these games mean to this fan base. And it's important. I think it's important that even for kids that are not from another country, but any kid that suits up at the University of Arizona, it's important for those stories to be told to them. So that's how they learn. You just don't get the Territorial Cup game by osmosis. I mean,
Right.
you play in it, but it's hearing those stories from the guys like Ricky Hundley and Chuck Cecil.
I think
and
it's
Brandon
easy.
Sanders.
It's easy to come in as a freshman, regardless of international or local in America, and watch the intensity of an Oregon Ducks basketball game, or UCLA Bruins, current state of what they're doing over there in Westwood. Those games these last 3 years, DK, have been high intensity, down to the wire, all of that. It's harder to explain the Duke rivalry or this Wisconsin quote-unquote rivalry because the teams have only played 10 total times in the 100-year history of their programs. It's not like they play every single year. But guess what? You got guys like Richard Jefferson live on national television constantly talking to J.J. Redick about how much he hates Duke, and it's 22 years later. So there are many pop culture references to some of those rivalries, and clearly the number of historians around here are going to let those guys know, what the purpose of what the meaning of this matchup is outside of just another regular season game. And they really took that one pretty seriously. You could tell.
I mentioned it was a 20-2 run that turned the game late in the first half. Pella Larson on what drove that scoring stretch for Arizona.
I think we just kept our energy. And I feel like when you play us, you got to have your energy the whole game. As soon as you relax, we're going to keep going. So we just kept going, trusting what we do, and eventually we're going to get that run.
6 for 6 from the floor for Pella Larson. He made all 4 of his 3-point shots. Is he feeling more comfortable here in 2023-24?
I felt the same. I actually made a joke to one of our managers that my shot felt good after one shot and I should stop, not even warm up. But I don't know, it felt the same as always. I just honestly got open catch and shoot, so it was fun. Been here for a while and with this guy and the coaching staff, so of course you're going to get comfortable, but you just trust in the abilities, and our guys do a great job just working every day, so it comes pretty easy.
I did that one time when I was in high school. I was playing baseball, of course, because I stunk at basketball. But I felt so good, like the first time through the cage. I was like, man, I'm not going to take any more swings because I'm feeling good right now. I don't want to mess it up. I was like, that's it. I was like, y'all can go here. I'm not taking any more swings. I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose this good feeling I got until we get to the game.
It's funny because it could go both ways, right? Because, if I'm not mistaken, I think Coach Kerr talked about the Final Four. It was probably the worst shooting game he ever had in his career at Arizona. If memory serves, I'm pretty sure he commented about how in the pregame warmups he felt really good. Like he felt like every single shot was going in. So I think there's some of those days. It's just a matter of being in that moment, right? I mean, because it doesn't matter if you're warming up really good. 3 hours later, you still got to face down that 95-mile-an-hour fastball, right? And in that moment, it's about how dialed you are in that moment. So if your mindset is, well, 3 hours ago, I was having great batting practice leading up into the game, so I guess I'm going to swing good, and you forget to do that in the moment, right? I mean, it's hard. That's if you could dial that in and bottle it, that's what sports are all about. Those people who rise to the top in the biggest moments in the most stressful pressure situations are the ones who get $700 million contracts.
And how about the fact that it was, and we mentioned obviously Steve Kerr was here, Bruce Frazier, but it was Bruce Frazier, Tommy said, that spoke to the team. He's like, yeah, they've heard Steve Kerr before.
That was funny, yeah.
But, any guy that's put on this uniform and played for this university has a right to get up here and speak to this team, and no better person than Bruce Frazier.
I have a Gumby here in the studio because growing up.
Wait, let me put you on your big shot so everybody that's watching on one of our streams, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, can see that Gumby in your hand.
Growing up, I was a regular participant in McHale before the Gumbies. But that year, DK, 87, 88, when the Gumbies were formed, it was just a bunch of crazy guys on the bench giving so much positivity and energy to every team play that happened throughout the course. And to me, I think Arizona has always been a family. I think that idea of having everybody get their back, regardless of if you're 20, 30, 40 years removed from campus or you're a current professional player, that whole moniker of it being a family, it just holds true at every single level because all those guys embrace the fact that they came from the University of Arizona Wildcats program and are happy to extend whatever resources that they can. I've never heard of a single previous alumni here who really hated Tucson, hated the University of Arizona. Don't get me wrong, there are a couple of outliers, but the idea that it's always going to be about that past, present, future thing that Coach Miller brought, that's just the general attitude I've always felt on campus. And talking to a guy like Kelvin, Glenn, just the number of people who are still involved to this day and mentoring those younger people. I think having Coach Kerr as a resource, what does he have, 13 NBA championships at this point? It's just so great. And having the fact that I love that, the part where Coach Lloyd said, we've heard so much from Kerr. We don't need to hear anything else from him. We wanted Bruce Frazier to say some words after the game. It's just so awesome.
All right, we will have more coming up. We'll let you hear a little bit from what Tommy Lloyd had to say after the game on Saturday, as well as you'll hear from Jed Fish as well coming up in our Desert Diamond Casino Rewind before we get out of here at 6 o'clock. And then more Tommy Lloyd after 6 o'clock with the Tommy Lloyd Coaches Show. So head on over to Union Public House right now and get your seat to be right next to the coach and Brian Jeffries, getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives, on your traffic and your weather. Standing in for cricket is Hollywood.
Thank you, DK, from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center. This is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. New collision report at Camp Lowell and west of Columbus. That's Camp Lowell just west of Columbus for a crash there. Another wreck over in Houghton and Valencia. That's Valencia and Houghton for a wreck. Earlier crash, now clearing. First Avenue in Fort Lowell. Also clearing Golf Links and Kolb. Your Wildcats Radio 1290 weather for tonight. Partly cloudy, getting chilly. Overnight lows going down near 49 tomorrow. Beautiful sunshine. Highs near 78. Right now it is 68. And I'm Hollywood in for cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. With a Chalupa Supreme beefy 5-layer burrito, crunchy taco, cinnamon twist, and medium drink, Taco Bell's $5 cravings box is packed as ever and $5 as ever. Get one at Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for price and participation which vary. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
What makes 1290 different than any other radio station in Tucson? 1290 is the home of the Arizona Wildcats, the NFL, and the Super Bowl. Winner. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
We return now to the holiday shopping adventures of Eugene Snarkle and his best friend Doug.
Eugene, it looks like we waited a bit too long to get our shopping done. These shelves are pretty empty.
Yeah, Doug, looks like everything got sucked up into that great big cyber savings vortex. But I've got another great idea.
We interrupt Eugene's Great ideas for this commercial message.
Trying to get on the road but need some maintenance or repairs to get your car, truck, SUV, or sleigh road trip ready?
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care has some fantastic year-end savings, like $50 back on any $250 purchase. When you pay with your Jack Furrier card, you save big.
Whether it's tires, maintenance, or auto repair, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care has you covered. We can get your vehicle road trip ready and save you some big bucks.
So, Eugene, what was that great idea of yours anyway?
I was thinking about getting everybody a giant-sized bag of Cheezos.
Thanks, Eugene. And for everyone else, there's Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
They say time flies like a sparrow.
And fruit flies like a banana. We're off to a great start.
If you two don't mind, I'd like to tell our customers about something they won't do in 2024.
I'm not doing a lot of things, like changing your socks.
Guys, I'm talking about no payments or interest for a full year on a new system.
Oh, people are going to like that. You should tell them.
As I was saying, Alaskan AC can install a brand new heating and air system and have no payments or interest for a year.
365 days. 12 months.
You'll get all the comfort, and you won't write a check for a whole year.
Ha! Ron still writes checks. He's so old, the first picture of him was an oil painting.
You guys having fun?
I never have fun. I'm having a little fun.
This is big. With approved credit, get a spanking new furnace and AC system. No payments or interest for a year.
Spanking new? Ron talks old-timey.
Schedule your appointment today, whenever you want, online at alaskanac.com.
Make the right choice for your home when it comes to windows and doors. For more than 20 years, the Window Depot has provided the best price and biggest inventory on in-stock windows and doors. The Window Depot is open to the public, so whether you're a homeowner or a contractor, you can shop the enormous warehouse. Browse the shelves with over 1,000 vinyl windows, interior and patio doors, and skylights in several varieties and sizes available to go home today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot. Best price, biggest inventory.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-306-8158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-306-8158. That's 800-306-8158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-306-8158. Again, 800-306-8158.
For all the latest news from Arizona Stadium, McKale Center, and High Corbin Field, make sure to like us on Facebook at Wildcats 1290. This is the exclusive home of Arizona Athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Caleb puts it on the floor, out between the rings. Over to Larson, squares up for the three, and that's the third. Lexus of Tucson Charity 3 for Pella Larson.
All in rhythm, all in the flow of the offense.
DK on the sports tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. Again, we're taking you up until 6 o'clock here today, and you'll have the head coach, Tommy Lloyd, the Tommy Lloyd Radio Show, which is out at Union Public House. So get on over there for that. Also, tonight in Tucson, we've got high school boys and girls basketball happening. Give you a few games that you can check out starting at 7 o'clock tonight. How about Saguaro? They're started out the boys. Saguaro boys off to a 7-1 start. They're going to host ALA Queen Creek tonight over on the east side. Palo Verde also off to a 7-1 start. They will welcome in Florence this evening. Daniel Ortiz for the Titans, averaging 16 points and 11 rebounds to start this early part of the season. On the girls' side, Sunnyside is 9-1. They'll be on the road up in my neighborhood tonight, taking on the Falcons at Catalina Foothills. Nayeli Nadez Acuna for the Sunnyside Blue Devils, 18 points and 12 boards so far through the first 10 games. So get out and see some high school basketball tonight. All right. Our Arizona insider today is going to be none other than Mr. Tommy Lloyd. We'll hear from the head coach of the Wildcats, some of the things that he had to say after his 98-73 win by his team over the Wisconsin Badgers on Saturday.
It's the 5 o'clock hour, and it's time for your Arizona Insiders.
Oh, sweet!
Each weekday, Wildcats Radio 1290 brings you all the latest news and opinions of U of A basketball. So bear down, Tucson, and let's talk Arizona basketball. Our Arizona Insiders are brought to you by Coors Light, official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. There's nothing like game day in Arizona.
Our defense was great 2 years ago. Maybe better or as good as our offense. Last year, our defense was good, not great. I think we're back in the great category now. But again, like rebounding, it's nothing I have. You don't just show up and assume you're going to play a great defensive game. You got to go make it happen, and our guys are doing a good job of that now.
Impact is KJ and Jaden making off the bench?
Well, they're awesome. Hey, Jaden is a tough kid. He's, battling a turf toe deal right now, and I could see him out there today not moving quite as good. Maybe that's why, I'm trying to maybe limit some of his run a little bit till we get him back to 100. He tells me he's 100. He doesn't look like he's moving like 100, but he does help. I told him, hey, you need to go take the baton from Kylan, and you need to go do a great job on number 23 defensively, and I thought he did a good job. And listen, KJ has played good. Every practice, every game, he's had an Arizona uniform, and he just keeps trending up and up and up.
Your offense is one of the best passing offenses in the country. When you bring in
shot the lights out.
When you bring in new guys, is there like a conversation you have to have, like this is how we play offense, either in or out?
Well, there's a lot of conversations you have, and one is we have a way we play. We have a way we develop players that we think is beneficial for our team and beneficial for the player. And so, we just harken back to that, and we're constantly talking about we need to be a team that enjoys your teammates' successes as much or more than your own. And so we want to be a team that shares the ball. And I told our guys today, I don't need any heroes. I don't need anybody to stand out above anybody else. But at the end of the day, I want people to say that Arizona basketball team kicks some ass, the team. And that's what we're fighting for.
How is your college buddy doing?
Okay, probably not the time to talk about that stuff. We'll stay locked in on this game today. But, he's obviously going through a lot.
When you were asked about having the burden of the number one ranking, you said it was wasn't much more complicated than playing really hard, playing with great passion, and playing together. How did the opponent and the crowd kind of help you to do those things?
Well, obviously you bring an opponent of Wisconsin's stature in for a non-conference game, your crowd's going to be excited. I think your crowd wishes you could play games like this every day, and maybe going to the Big 12 next year, we'll play a lot of them. But scheduling's a little tricky. So you got to do the best job you can for your program to get it well positioned to get an at-large bid for the NCAA tournament. So the crowd obviously made a significant impact today. I feel like we're right where we need to be, but at the same point, the moment I leave this deal, my mind's going to start thinking about next week or things we got to get better at within our program. How are we going to scout ourselves? So what do we got to get better at? And then what do we got coming down the pipe? And that's what makes this job cool is you don't get too much time to rest on your laurels. You're on to the next one.
From my vantage point, it looked like a big part of the game plan was to dictate pace. With the ferociousness of the on-ball defense, how are you guys able to dictate pace, make Wisconsin a little frantic?
I don't ever think about dictating pace. I just think about I think our guys want to get out and run, and we play a system that gets out and run. And I knew, I was like, okay, if we can go to battle with these guys on the glass, and they're sending guys to the offensive glass, they got a decision to make with their transition defense, and we're comfortable. We're comfortable, very comfortable going 6, 8, 10 possessions in a row up and down. We have no problem with that. So, we're used to it. So I want to see if other teams are used to it and how they respond. And fortunate enough, we got in some of those stretches today where there were 6, 8 possessions where the game flowed pretty fast.
I know you've spoken highly of Caleb Love and Tommy Ass, but is there any part of you that's surprised at his passing and his rebounding just beyond his scoring?
Caleb's a really good player, and I asked Caleb to come here and fit into this team and be a great all-around player. Because I know Caleb's going to play at the next level. But I think Caleb can play at the next level as a guy that can do multiple things. That gives you great effort defensively. He's a really smart player. I mean, with scouting reports and stuff, he's really smart, and he's savvy with all that stuff. And then, now I said, ask him, hey, I think you could give more effort on the glass. He has, and I'm on him about it because we got to build that habit. Offensively, I said, hey, I'm not worried about shot attempts. I'm worried about just stacking up good, simple decisions over and over and over and over again. And he's bought into it. And now, that being said, he also has a nose and a knack for scoring the ball. So I don't want to stifle that either. So you put it all together, you got one heck of a player.
Thanks to Coors Light for bringing you today's Arizona Insiders on Wildcats Radio 1290. Coors Light, official corporate sponsors of Arizona Athletics. There's nothing like game day in Arizona.
All right, that is the head coach of the Arizona men's basketball team, Tommy Lloyd. He said something interesting there, and it kind of harkens back to something, J-Dub, that you said earlier in the show about, and it got me thinking about, I was actually thinking about this even before the show, when you look at this team, how well they've played, and you mentioned the fact that this is a team that does not necessarily have a lot of weaknesses. But even before you said that, I was thinking, there's probably one thing, and this might be a question of the day that we do moving forward, one thing with every player that you'd like to see them do better.
Sure.
And obviously, the easy one would be with Oumar Ballo. You'd like Oumar to shoot free throws better than he shot him. If he could do that, he becomes an even more dangerous threat for this Arizona Wildcats basketball team. And the one thing for me, and I've said it in pretty much all of our pregame shows, is I'd like to see Caleb Love be more downhill. I want to see more drives to the basket from him. And one of the reasons that I think that you want to see that is because he is such a great free throw shooter.
Yeah.
He's one of the better free throw shooters on this team, but right now he's only going to the line about 4 times a game. I mean, what if you could get an additional, and I say an additional 2 more foul instances out of that or 2 more shooting foul instances out of that, and now you're getting Caleb Love to the line maybe 8 times per game versus 4 times per game. And I think that if he can become, again, I'd much rather, in terms of offense, I'd much rather see that improvement in his offense, more downhill drives, get fouled more, go to the line, maybe shoot 4 to 6 more free throws per game than him making more threes and improving his 3-point field goal percentage.
You definitely got to pick your poison when you're game planning against this Arizona team, and I think what you'll see is they're going to try to take Ballo's post-ups and Caleb Love's drives away. And so in that first 10 minutes, there wasn't a lot. It was really congested. So Caleb Love could not get there. But what happened? Pelle Larsson knocked down 3 consecutive threes, opened that whole thing up. Where was Caleb Love in the second half, DK? He lived at the rim. He was taking the ball either all the way to the rim or drawing the secondary defender and throwing, I think, 2 or 3 alley-oops he threw in that sequence. So you definitely would love to see Caleb Love, and I love that he's taken what the defense has given him. So right now, when they start games out, Caleb Love's right at the top of the scout. They're going to make sure that he does not go off and get comfortable scoring from the very start. So it's up to those other guys. If he drives and sees a lot of attention, kick out, open shot, knock it down. Next time you drive, you're not going to get quite as tight of a pinch there on that double in the lane. And so you're going to see a little bit more open lanes, and that's what he saw in the second half.
Yeah, if you can get, like I mentioned earlier, if you can get guys to start knocking down some of those shots, you're definitely going to have an opportunity to do a whole lot of things offensively, even more so than what this team is doing right now, putting up 98 points on a Wisconsin team that is known for their defense and had not given up that many points in a game in some 18 years. going back for Wisconsin. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We're going to talk some U of A football, too, before we get out of here today. The Wildcats are going to the Alamo Bowl. There have been some interesting roster transactions since the last time we had a chance to speak with you. So we'll get into that in the next segment as well. You'll hear from the head coach of the Arizona Wildcats. Very interesting conversation last week with Jed Fish. This was the first. I felt like I didn't know what to do with myself this Monday because we didn't have a Jed Fish. He didn't have any time with Jed Fish for the first time, I think, since September. But he had a press conference last Monday and a lot of talk about NIL, the transfer portal, and all that. And you'll hear some of his thoughts on that coming up in our Desert Diamond Casino replay. We are joined, though, back in studio by none other than Hollywood.
Hi, DK.
How you doing, Hollywood? Okay, so Hollywood, what do you mentioned in the first segment, and we'll mention that Hollywood is sitting in for cricket. Are you here all week?
Just today.
Oh, just today?
Yeah.
Oh, so this is only a one-day thing.
One-day thing.
All right.
Yeah.
So when are you going to be a regular here with us potentially? Like,
Let's see. Well, here and there. I've been here for about 10 years.
Okay.
So when I became a full-time dad, that was it.
Yeah, right.
And that was like that was my new job.
Yeah, exactly. So and you mentioned that you got a 3-year-old son.
Yes.
And what's his name again?
Mr. Rory.
Mr. Rory. Okay. What is Mr. Rory into right now? What's his thing right now?
Trouble. Just that. That's it.
He's in trouble.
He's into trouble. He's in timeout right now. I just talked to my wife.
Oh boy.
He's in timeout.
Oh boy. What happened? What did he do?
Yeah. What doesn't he do? You know? He just doesn't listen to mom.
Doesn't listen to mom. Okay. So who's that? Like, so I guess because you're raising him. So I guess Kai, you're going to kind of get some of the blame for that, right?
I mean,
you
always.
Guys, you know.
Yeah. All of it. 100% of the blame.
So what's your background? Where'd you grow up?
Right here in Tucson.
You grew up here in Tucson?
Yeah, well, all over the country.
Okay.
Came here in 87.
All right.
And then got into radio in 91. And I was about 16, 17 years old, right around there.
Wow.
High school, yeah.
Man, so like you and cricket are kind of cut from the same cloth.
We are. She was on, can I say this? She was on KRQ radio.
Okay.
I was over on Cool 92.9 radio.
All right.
Way back in the day. So
wow.
We learned the business together.
Geez, that is something else. What drew you to this as a 16 or 17?
Yeah, love radio. Love the theater of the mind. Love just, who's that guy on the radio? Who's that voice? You know? So, yeah, I couldn't resist it. And,
so how many things have you done in this business?
How many? Oh, gosh, everything.
All of the things.
All of the things. That's it. Yeah, how can you not do all the things?
Right?
Yeah.
So you've DJ'd, you've done traffic. Have you ever done sports? You know any sports?
I have never done sports.
Okay.
As my wife would say, I call it sports ball.
So if I want to take a day off, I can't call you to fill in for me.
That would not be wise.
Who's the guy we got?
We can make it work.
Who's that guy? We had the play-by-play guy gone a couple weeks ago. He said he would fill in for me if I wanted a day off.
You just took a week off.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
it's Christmas.
It's
December. Everybody's got to take some time off in December, right?
No, I'm not saying you haven't deserved it. I'm just saying you should be fresh right now. So talking about the potential,
I'm fresh. I'm always fresh.
I'm sure
I'm from the 80s, man. I'm fresh.
I love it.
I'm fresh.
Slapping
fresh and
fresh.
So clean. Ain't nobody dope as me. You know that song, don't you, J-Dub? No. I don't think so.
Yes, I do.
All right. Okay, well, Hollywood, do you know when we'll see you back here again?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, it was fun having you.
We'll just have him
coming
back
by.
to talk Cleveland stuff sometime.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's got some Cleveland connections there.
Always.
Yeah. We'll see when the Browns get to the playoffs. We'll have to bring you in just for that.
There you go.
All right. Let's hope that happens. 8-5. 8-5. Who do we play this week? I think we play Chicago. Chicago Bears. Chicago's playing pretty well. They beat Detroit yesterday. What's going on with Detroit?
Wow.
Well, how about there was a 3-0 game yesterday?
You're talking sports ball to Hollywood?
Vegas did not score any points, and then they lost to Minnesota, and Minnesota only scored 3 points. And last week there was a 6-0 game, and the Cowboys are winning all the money in the 33 clubs because they've gotten 33 2 weeks in a row. I don't know if you know what a 33 club is, do you, Hollywood?
I'm guilty. No, I do not.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that later.
Teach
All right,
me.
getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather. Here he is. Take it away, Hollywood.
Thank you, DK, from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center. This is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Working a few collisions, one on Camp Low, just west of Columbus, another on Oracle, West Miracle Mile. Also a collision now clearing Houghton and Valencia. Also clearing First Avenue and Fort Lowell. Also heads up for a traffic hazard report over on 22nd and Pantano. Here at 1290 Wildcats Radio Weather. We have clear skies for tonight. Overnight lows going down to 49. Little chilly. Tomorrow, sunshine. Highs near 78. It is currently 68. And I'm Hollywood in for Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Big O Tires. 'Tis the season of savings from Big O Tires. Get up to $140 in rebate savings on select sets of 4 Michelin tires with paint installation. Hurry, offer ends January 7th. Details at bigotires.com. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
They say time flies like a sparrow.
And fruit flies like a banana. We're off to a great start.
If you two don't mind, I'd like to tell our customers about something they won't do in 2024.
I'm not doing a lot of things, like changing your socks.
Guys, I'm talking about no payments or interest for a full year on a new system.
Oh, people are going to like that. You should tell them.
As I was saying, Alaskan AC can install a brand new heating and air system and have no payments or interest for a year.
365 days. 12 months.
You'll get all the comfort, and you won't write a check for a whole year.
Ha! Ron still writes checks. He's so old, the first picture of him was an oil painting.
You guys having fun?
I never have fun. I'm having a little fun.
This is big. With approved credit, get a spanking new furnace and AC system. No payments or interest for a year.
Spanking new? Ron talks old-timey.
Schedule your appointment today, whenever you want, online at alaskanac.com.
Nothing slows my little girl down, except a stuffy nose. Mommy. That's why I use Sinex Children's Saline from Vicks. Sinex instantly clears mucus in everyday stuffy little noses with a gentle, ultra-fine mist designed for kids. Just Sinex? Breathe. Her stuffy nose is gone for now. And so is she.
Sinex Children's Saline. Sinex, breathe. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Wildcats Radio 1290 has been through all the ups.
Throwing deep downfield, and that ball is caught. That's a one-handed catch by T-Mac. How does he do this? What a catch!
And the downs.
Picked off. I don't believe it. The third interception.
1290 is always there by your side to bring you all the raw emotion of the moments that matter to Wildcats fans. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey guys, Chris Brockman here. Prize Picks, it's the most fun I've had, winning up to 25 times my money this football season. And now I can play during basketball season too. I can take combo projections across both sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less their projection, and place your entry. You could turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. And Prize Picks is the only DFS platform with an injury insurance policy, keeping you in the game if one of your players goes down. Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/primetime and use the code PRIMETIME. That's code PRIMETIME at prizepicks.com/primetime for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Don't miss Lowe's 25 days of deals. Get up to 30% off, plus save up to an extra $750 on select major appliances. Valid through 12/13. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 85% water, right?
85% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients. Don't pay for water, pay for clean.
Save $10 when you spend $30 on Tide and Downy. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent. Must buy at least one participating Tide or Dreft detergent item, plus at least one participating Downy and or Bounce scent booster, liquid fabric softener, or dryer sheets. Prepaid card by mail. Visit pglaundryrebate.com for terms and conditions.
Hey, listener. Welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it.
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I thought learning a language would be too much work, but Babbel makes learning fun. J'aime Babel.
Babbel's lessons only take 10 or 15 minutes, and soon you turn and realize, hey, I'm starting to speak another language. How'd that happen?
Babbel isn't robots talking. You learn words and phrases from real native speakers. I was ready for real-life conversations in just a few weeks. So easy.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. Final chance for you to get in on today's show and talk about any of the number of things we have been going over. We talked about the Arizona men's basketball team. In the last segment, we got into a little bit of maybe one thing you'd like to see done better by one player, and we can dive into that more tomorrow. Whether it's Umar Balos shooting free throws better, obviously that's an obvious one. For me, it's more downhill drives from Caleb Love. Maybe get to the line another 4 times per ball game. What's that one thing that you want to see an Arizona Wildcat do better that you have not seen thus far this season? 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on that. Also, our question of the day today has been the Suns. Bradley Beal is expected to play tomorrow for the first time this season in the Suns game against the Warriors, but Kevin Durant is questionable. So will we see the big three tomorrow night? Will we see them for the first time this season? Right now, 75% of you saying yes, we will see the big three tomorrow, and that Kevin Durant, although questionable, will be ready to go and play with his compadres, Bradley Beal and Devin Booker, tomorrow. Also, we talked about what the future of McHale Center could be. Is it time for a new facility with everything that's been going on this year with the Wildcats financially? And that kind of came off the fact that Wisconsin last year played a game in a baseball stadium and only 18,000 people showed up. What about the Wildcats played a game at Arizona Stadium? Could they sell out Arizona Stadium and get 50,000 people out to watch Arizona basketball? Wouldn't that be a whole lot of fun on a Saturday night in October, mid-October, when it's, not real hot under the lights at Arizona Stadium? 520-848-1290. Let's check in with Paul. You're on Wildcats Radio 1290, DK on the Sports Tip.
I missed you guys.
Yeah,
where have you guys been?
We took a little break. We got
sleeping in.
We were going to be working. We're going to be working Christmas week when everybody else is off. So we took our vacation a little early.
I know. You poor guys. We workaholics. I need to write into that station and say, hey, these guys need some time off or something. I'm not sure what it is. Good behavior or whatever.
Never ends. You know this, Paul. It doesn't ever end, Paul. It's like the same thing over and over, 24 hours, especially this time of year. It's just straight sports all the time.
Isn't that the truth? Oh, my gosh. Too funny. Hey, so real quick, just going back to the first part of the show, David, congratulations on being nominated to the Pima College Hall of Fame. That's awesome. That's
Thank
you. Great honor for you. But also, I did years ago, I had the privilege of going to see Prince in concert.
Ooh.
And let me tell you something. It was a last minute thing. Our friends called and say, hey, we got 2 tickets. You want to spend $125 a piece for you and your wife? I'm like, done. And I tell you what, it was, I was a fan, but the guy was phenomenal. There's no other way to explain it. He was great. It was great. Great show.
Yeah,
But
I never saw
anyway,
Prince. I never saw Prince in concert. I did see Madonna a couple of times, but I never did see Prince.
People hear the name Prince and they don't understand like that he wrote and performed most of the music. So
Yeah.
I mean, you think of Prince the vocalist, but it's really Prince the musician because he was a very accomplished guitarist, among other things.
There was a story that when he worked Vegas, that he would do a Vegas show and do his normal stuff, blah blah blah. One night he walks out there and says, "Okay, tonight's show, it's you call it." Told the audience, "You yell out the song, any song, let's do it." So people would yell out a song, and he'd look at his musicians and they'd go, they kind of give the puzzle look. He'd walk over to where where it needs to start or whatever he'd do. He'd start the song, and it wasn't one of his songs. It was some whatever song, cover song, and he'd start it, and he played every instrument. They said it was a phenomenal concert, just absolutely phenomenal. So that's pretty cool. But hey, just real quick, I missed, and I apologize. I don't know. There's nobody of importance that is in our transfer portal. The Wildcat transfer portal, is there?
No, nobody of them. No. Well, I mean, there's some good kids, but I would never say not important kids. You still, kids like Stevie Rocker. People like Stevie Rocker, you want them in your program, but in terms of guys that played extensively or probably going to play extensively in the future, no.
Okay, good. Okay, that's good. I think Coach, again, hopefully his contract extension is after the bowl game, and despite the fact that the U of A has all the money issues, he's going to get it. I can't imagine he won't get something. So that's that. So, but last, I just want to bring up real quick. I am the biggest Tommy Lloyd fan. Of course, when they hired him, I was like, okay, I don't know, but I love watching his interviews. It's usually, I think it's his Monday. Is it Monday or Tuesday when he does his shows? And I can.
It's coming up right. It's coming up right after us, Paul.
Yeah, you'll be sitting down with Brian in about 15 minutes.
No, but this was just his regular media stuff.
Yeah, that's on Thursday. Okay.
Yeah. Well, is it me, or is he a little bit uncomfortable? Because sometimes some of his answers are a little. I laugh because they're a little snarky, kind of like. Somebody will say something about the whole analytics and he'll say something like, "Oh, well, that's what you follow," like Mr. Report. That's what you follow, but that's Coach. He just cracks me up, and he's just so. To him, it's all for fun. It's all for basketball. He doesn't work. And when he even told the story about how, I think I heard it the other night that he said he really pays attention to points and fouls, because that's all he can really see on the scoreboard. He said,
glasses.
I have my glasses on, and I'm just cracking up. I was like, he's just so honest and just so. I'm telling you right now, if Andy Griffith's show ever did a remake, of their show, he would be the basketball coach at the local high school.
Yeah.
That's Tommy Lloyd. He's the basketball coach. He's just so like. Everything's good, everybody. It's all good. I'm not sure what you people are worried about. Stop worrying. I don't talk to my team about being number one.
Yeah, I think DK could speak this better than I could, obviously. But what you're talking about is literally just him already having answered those questions, be it last year or the year before, and it's the same question. And so, one could spend 5 minutes elaborating on why they feel, or they could just be see answer 6 from 18 months ago. I've already answered that question. Next.
Yeah. Is that the truth? It's so funny. I love hearing him talk. It's almost I almost like get a little bit of I chuckle about it, because it's like, oh, here comes Tommy. He's going to say something funny. Well, like tonight with Brian, he'd be totally normal with Brian. But just because. But it's just the guy's just got the demeanor that there's other things bigger than in life than this stuff. So it's all good. But gentlemen, glad you're working again. It's good to hear your work. I know you're always working. Come on, let's not kid anybody.
Yeah,
but,
I had a week off, and I still
coming up on the 28th.
I had a week off, and I still couldn't get anything done.
Yeah, I was here for 5 of the 6 days, I think. Thanks, Paul.
Appreciate you, Paul. Thanks.
Hey, take care, guys. Talk to you later.
All right, Paul in Phoenix, always a a great call. I call it the Tommy Lloyd Variety Hour.
Yeah.
When we go there, because he's very funny, and he has his quips with Bruce Pascoe, which are always entertaining. It's a fun environment. It's not, again, but they're winning right now. I would be interested to see if we ever get into a stress. We haven't had a lot of stress under Tommy Lloyd in the 3 years that he's been here. Other than the losses, some of the losses at the end. But if we ever got into a seasonal stress situation where there were some losses back to back, I'd be interested to kind of see his demeanor then.
I feel like he's going to be the same every time, but you're right. I mean, we haven't seen a 6-win, 12-loss press conference yet. Yeah. But yeah, I think he's pretty much exactly what's on the tin, is what I'll say.
Yeah, indeed it is. And it's funny. He was talking. I got to tell my Prince story real quick here. When Prince died, I was anchoring the sports that night over at KOLD CBS 13 Fox 11, and I was anchoring it was the weekend. I was anchoring with two younger people, so it was maybe not that day, but that week, and the two youngsters that I was anchoring with knew that Purple Rain was a song, but had no idea that it had been a movie.
Right. Right.
I literally got up out of my chair. We were sitting on the stage at Channel 30. I literally got up out of my chair and walked. I said, "Wait a minute. You didn't know that Purple Rain was a movie?" And they were like, "No." And I got up and I walked off the stage. I said, "I got to go." Sorry.
But they probably saw 8 Mile.
Right. With Eminem.
Same thing.
Exactly.
So it's like the story of Prince, right?
All right. Let's hear from the head coach of the football team, Jed Fish, talking about the bowl game, the bowl practice experience, and how important this is to his team.
And now, the best thing you will hear all day.
Hachi-machi!
It's time for the Wildcat Radio Replay. In case you missed this earlier in the day, we now bring you the best of 1290. It's made possible by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
I think that there's momentum in playing in a game because you have 15 practices that you wouldn't have had the last, if you look at us versus, let's call it Utah, since 2017, they've had 90 practices more than we've had. And when you look at that, well, what does that mean? I mean, 90 practices is like, well, training camp's only 28 practices. So you're talking about 3 more training camps than we had to be able to compete. So, and that's, of course, we've had coaching changes along the way there as well. So I think where the momentum comes from is really just getting better. And the team is around each other more. The team believes in each other more. They're closer together. And sure, when you're playing December 28th on ESPN, recruits are going to notice it, and they're going to see how you play the game. The way we play the game, people should want to come here. We play the game in a manner that people should say, I want to go play at Arizona, and I really don't care about the rest. And the reason why is because we can develop guys to become NFL players. We've shown that. We can do that. We will do that. We'll have a ton of players that will be in the NFL next year and years beyond that. And we're watched by NFL GMs. We're watched by NFL head coaches. Most coaches in this league can tell you how Arizona did every Saturday. I don't think that a lot of other programs can say that. And that's why I think that the bowl momentum will be nice. I heard from a lot of NFL head coaches yesterday congratulating us on going to the Alamo Bowl and the importance of that game, and that's the momentum we need.
And also, as a head coach, what has today been like for you with the transfer portal?
Yeah, I think that in regards to players that have gone into the portal from other programs, there's certainly been some people that I've had to evaluate and make decisions on. You have to make very fast decisions. In recruiting, you can make long decisions. You might know them when they're a sophomore in high school, a freshman in high school, a junior in high school. Here now you have a decision that you need to make if you want to use one of your spots on a guy that you evaluated for 7 minutes. And things are very, very different in that regard. Then you have to start trying to do research. But while you're doing research, another team's trying to get them. So it's a much more challenging deal for a head coach. And then, maybe there's a couple meetings here or there. I haven't had any with our own roster. I did not have to do that, but a year ago we did. But there's always going to be people that are trying to take your players. So you've got to avoid that, and you've got to make sure that these players understand their value to this program. And as I told our guys, if our whole team stays together, and that recruiting class of 2022 and that transfer class of 2022, if you start adding that group together, when you start adding Tanner McLaughlin, Jacob Cowing, Jaden DeLora, Noah Fafita, T-Mac, Kevin Green, Price Sock, Takario, Manu, Kean, and you just go down the list of guys that were in part of that class of 22, there should be an ESPN 30 for 30 done about them in 10 years. And
that was the Wildcat Radio Replay with the best of the best from 1290. It's brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
Wow, an ESPN 30 for 30. That is something to say right there. It'll be interesting to see if that comes out. Jordan Morgan, if you, again, one of the things that happened while we were going, Jordan Morgan is not going to play in the bowl game. He has opted out, as most of us expected that he would. He is going to likely be a top round pick. Hey, folks, don't go through another year with that awful joint pain. Call QC Kinetics right now and make 2024 the year you're back living that normal life again. QC Kinetics can give you your life back. They are the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. These are all natural treatments that can repair and restore that damaged tissue, giving you pain-free movement. Once again, QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients around the country, people who had knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain. They were able to get that lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. If you have pain from an old injury or pain associated with arthritis, you need to check this out. The future of medicine, it is here. It's regenerative treatments from QC Kinetics. Make the call now so you can get the most out of 2024. Get back to doing what you love. And don't forget, you can use your HSA and your FSA to do that. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. They got 2 locations here in Southern Arizona, one off of Academy, the other off of Orange Grove. 520-497-4955. 520-497-4955. Call QC Kinetics right now at 520-497-4955. That's going to wrap up our show for today. Thanks to J.W. Madden. Thanks to Hollywood. Most of all, thanks to you for listening. DK on the Sports Tip. I'm David Kelly. We'll talk to you on Tuesday. Bear down, Arizona. Be Aztec tough.
Thank you, DK. From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Traffic hazard reported 22nd and Pantano. That's Pantano and 22 Street for traffic hazard. Earlier crashes now clearing. Camp Lowell, west of Columbus. Also Oracle Miracle Mile clearing. Houghton and Valencia on 1st Avenue and Fort Lowell, all clearing. And your Wildcats Radio 1290 weather for tonight, partly cloudy. Overnight lows going down near 49, a little chilly. Tomorrow, sunshine, highs near 78. Right now, it is 67. And I'm Hollywood in for Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by KFC. KFC's 2 for $5 chicken wraps. 'Tis the season for tasty good.